Hello.
Hello.
Welcome everybody. How you doing? Hi Raven. Hi Fire Seal. Coda. Welcome. How you doing? I heard a rooster. There is a rooster at the beginning of the song. It's true. We are doing a dual stream tonight because we felt like it. So you reap the bennies. Yeah. Let's see. Gabe's going to be working on Drawtober, Inktober, and if you want to refocus that camera again, it might be a little bit and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Is that Rebellious Package? What? Oh. Yeah, what is the one you're working on, or what is that one?
Toy box.
Honda the
toy
Honda.
box.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Switching gears.
No.
Let's go to this way.
Thing.
What? Bop.
Shit.
What'd you lose?
My template.
Template. Is that a Rebellious Package?
Son of a bitch.
Fire Seal, that is graphic. How is everybody tonight? It's Tuesday. Is that okay that it's Tuesday? Do some of you rage on Tuesday? What's Tuesday to you? Let's see. So today, I'm going to actually be doing a method of, I don't even know what you'd call it, making stuff that the person we met on our Europe trip, she does it this way. So I will be using acetate, Duralar acetate, and you put it down. It's like tracing paper, but not. I'm actually gonna tape it down too, because stuff's gonna get crazy if I don't. Off tomorrow. Heck yeah! Days off are good. Okay. So technically, this is already an original that I'll have for FairyCon. So that's good. Already we're in the clear. But I'm also going to trace it onto another piece here and try something different with it. So technically I'm getting two pieces out of it. But yeah, obviously one will be cheaper than the other, that sort of thing, which is a perk to doing multiple kinds. Plus, some people like color, some people don't like color. Something for everybody. What are you gonna do on your day off, Coda? It was nice meeting you at New York too. I had a great time. I hope you did too. For my regulars, look what I found. It took until we're moving to another place for me to find it from moving from the other place. So, figures.
Damn it.
Still coughing. What's wrong? He's dying.
Watched myself in.
Almost knocked over the thing. Finished gym, so swole. Good job. That's one in the bank for today. I like to do it in the morning, so at least I've accomplished something already during the day. Babe, that's loud. Good Lord. Coffee. So today I'm kind of taking a hit on my Inktober. I honestly couldn't think of a book today to do. Like, I still have a bunch of ideas, but figuring out how to execute them was not kind of, I don't know, it wasn't gelling today. So I didn't force it. Yesterday's was a cool idea, but I don't think I executed it like I wanted to, so I might eventually redo that if I have time. But otherwise, today I might just take the hit and do two tomorrow. Because, like I said, some days you're just not feeling it, and if you try to force it, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Gabe's dying. He is dying. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Friendos. Friendos are important. That sounds like fun. Gotta get new tires. That can be crappy, but at the same time, it can be cool, because when you get back in your car, you're like, oh man, it's like a new car. Alright, so I'm going to be actually using a colored pencil. And Gabe's struggling through life right now. Apparently.
This is the bus.
Huh?
This is the bus.
He's on the struggle bus. He's probably driving the struggle bus. So, also, if anybody has any questions they want to ask, Hello Fortune, we call it, let me know, and we'll ask her. Just put in the beginning, Hello Fortune, comma, ask your question. Oh, thank you, Attempts. I appreciate it. He's like a little squash spirit, right? So I figure you'd find him in pumpkin patches and things. I think it'd be really cute.
You got a new follow too.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, you followed me. Thank you, Reasonable Attempts. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're part of the crew now. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Alright, so I actually went to Hobby Lobby like an hour before the stream. It was like 20 minutes before they closed too. Because I wanted very specific colored pencils. So I got like, here, I'll show you. I couldn't decide on just one brown, and I figure I'd eventually use all these browns anyway, so I just got all the browns. Like, whatever, right? I mean, there's lots of browns. So, the names are dark brown, terracotta, sepia, chocolate. Oh, earlier it said chocolate. What the hell? Oh, it's on one side. Okay, chocolate and chocolate. So I'll just say chocolate. Sienna brown, light umber, Tuscan red, which isn't even a brown, but it looks like it, and dark umber. But my favorite right now is the dark brown, which I knew I'd probably use this, and lo and behold, I am. So, oh no. Hello Fortune, how likely is it that Coda will find their notebook? I got it at a Goodwill. Nice. I think so. Hey, whenever it gives an answer that actually applies, I'm usually pleased. Blessed be to the squash spirit. Blessed be. So I'm choosing to do a dark brown instead of like a black because I don't honestly use black all that much. It actually sucks a lot of the life out of a lot of the pieces I do, I found, so I decided to start using colored pencil as well instead of ink sometimes. Because it can just be so much softer, you know? Gabe, which one are you working on tonight?
The ghoul one?
Oh, ghoul drill?
Yeah.
Did you figure out what you want to do for that?
No.
You want to talk about it?
No.
You want to talk about
No.
it? You sure?
Guess.
So we talked about having like a little baby, right?
Yeah.
In the thing that gets brought to the ghoul. Could be just, what about a ghoul puppy or something? Or is that too close to the frog? Maybe that's too close to the frog. Okay. Maybe... What if he delivers the ghoul to a graveyard? To drool over like a hamburger ghost.
A hamburger ghost?
Yeah, can there be ghosts of hamburgers?
I don't know.
I think that's a cute idea. We could make that work. I mean, just maybe bring him a hamburger. And have him drool over the hamburger. Sometimes this gets tough when I can't turn the paper.
I was thinking of like you go somewhere where they like harvest ghoul drool.
Oh, that's cool.
But you know, he's like,
maybe they're jars.
well, no, it's like a box, and he's like, no, and then he gives them like a plastic bag, and they put it in a bag, and he's like, oh, that's better.
What if they open up the box and, like we saw at Home Depot today, they had the glass like sectioned, and he was bringing them jars to keep. Like maybe there's a ghost that harvests the ghoul drool and puts it into things, or like a ghoul machine. I don't know. Something like that. That could be
The
cute.
biggest problem is having like so, like 3 panels to do it in.
Right. Mm. Oh, good, Coda. I'm glad you think it's pleasant. We're not yelling this time around. Sometimes we get heated up about something, and then it gets kind of lit. But normally it is kind of chill. And usually it's me. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's usually just me. Today is kind of a different thing. I don't know. I'm getting over a cold. Okay? I don't know how many people caught con crud after New York, but I was actually okay. Until Gabe was done with his con crud, and then I caught it from him again, which is exactly what happened at Dragon Con. I was fine right after Dragon Con. I didn't get hit. I was like, yeah, in the clear. Gabe got sick, though. I tried my best to avoid him. Live with him, so I can't really avoid him. And boom, I got hit again. So, luckily, though, between my 2 streams, between Thursday and Tuesday, I already went through it, so this is the tail end of it. But you're welcome, Corey. Sorry that it's not very good news, I guess, but that's a hard one, man, because you'd think anything would help when explaining, like, your credentials, but sometimes it could actually hurt, depending, because what sucks is they really don't care what you've been through or anything. Mainly they care about what you're selling and what your art looks like. So, like, let's say maybe one year they're focusing more on, I don't know, like traditional stuff or more illustration and bringing in new people. They might look at your stuff extra carefully that year. Otherwise, some years they want to put the emphasis back on comic creators and stuff. So it's really a toss-up, too. I mean, I've only been doing this like 3 years, and already every year is different. And, I mean, Gabe's been doing it almost 20 years, and, I mean, it's always different, yeah.
Well, I think the problem is that, like I said, like the other night, was that they're gonna, like, most of the tables are gonna go to comic book people, because it's a comic book show, and that's what people are going there for. And then, really, it's sort of like, like if you met somebody who's an artist, and then they come up to you and they're like, "Oh, I'm an artist. Oh, really cool." Like, and then they try to tell you, "Oh yeah, and I went to this school." Okay. That sounds like a good school, but
you have no semblance.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like, okay, like, if you went to SVA, okay, that's cool. Then that means that A, you got a lot of money, and B, you probably had a good portfolio. I don't know. But not until you actually show them your work are they like, okay, this looks like a good fit for us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, you are good, or I enjoy your work.
And that's what I'm saying, like, your work might speak better for you than you can for yourself, so to speak. So, I mean, just going for it sometimes, you never know. Like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I'll apply for cons that, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. And you just see how it goes.
I think, and the biggest problem is, like, I think art is that one field where you can say, oh, I went to SCAD. It doesn't mean shit. Because I've known people that went to SCAD and they work at, they work somewhere that they shouldn't be working if they went to SCAD.
Or their art just sucks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Less,
they didn't put in the effort to be...
I try not to judge people by where they work.
Yeah, yeah. But, like you would expect them to be working somewhere, but they're not. They're not working in their field because they just didn't put in the effort to become, like, good. So, so you saying, like, I'm from, I went to this school and I did this at the school. It's like, all right, you went to school. Okay.
Yeah.
But if I was a doctor, it's like, oh, well, I went to Johns Hopkins. Oh, okay. You know some shit then, all right.
I mean, unless it's a school that required a portfolio to get in.
Yeah.
That's different.
And, like, that's what I was saying. If it's, like, SVA, I think usually SVA people are, like, pretty awesome, but who knows?
Is it, like, CalArts and stuff?
Ashley, are you tracing?
I'm tracing my own thing, yeah. Who asked?
Doom design?
Yeah, so Doom, I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute here. Do Drawtober. Good job, Corey. Yeah, do your Drawtober. Hamburger Ghost sounds adorable. I agree. I think you should work in the Hamburger Ghost. I saw you without your ears and things on Instagram. I was shook to my core. I'm sorry, Doom. Yeah, sometimes they fall off or I get scared and they recoil, you know. So, what I'm doing here is, a few of you probably saw me the other night actually ink this one. And I did ink it. It's inked. So I've got that one that I'll probably end up toning at some point to sell. But this one I'm experimenting with. I have another friend who does things a certain way here, and I'll explain it. So this is actually acetate. Okay, it's not just tracing paper, it's acetate. So acetate is like a matte film. Okay, this is Duralar. I know it's backwards, but Duralar. It's not a very fun name. But, so she uses this. She traces a previous drawing that she's done, just to make sure it's good, because you can't really fully erase on this to where it's gone completely, so you want to make sure you don't have any like pre-existing pencil lines, because it could really screw up the picture, unless it's part of like maybe it's texture or something, I don't know. But she traces them, and then on the back she puts the gouache on it, okay, to make it actually like a super opaque, really nice and smooth texture. Like she uses it really heavily, like thick, right? And then on the front, I put on any like shading or anything like that on it. So we're gonna try it that way. I want to actually try her process and see how that feels. I already really like inking with the colored pencil here. The acetate does take ink, but like I said, I'm actually starting to get away from ink more because I found out it doesn't really fit my style very much. So, I mean, I am doing Inktober, but I think after that, I'm not really gonna ink things much. I enjoy inking, but I really do think it's a little too harsh for the type of content I do. And Gabe and I have kind of talked about this before, where you really have to think about, you know, the type of materials you use and if they're actually lending anything to your style and what you know, your content that you do. I'm gonna definitely record it. Once you check the box, you're good. Oh. I got you, Corey. Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't go to a school that really didn't care. Like AI, you hand them a check, they hand you a diploma, basically. A lot of the people that we went to school with don't use the portfolio at all, so, you know, at least you're still using it to an extent, you know. But yeah, I'm tracing one of my drawings, so at least there's that. I'm not tracing someone else's. But I did want to try someone else's process and see how it feels. Because at that point, after you try something the way someone else does it sometimes, you figure out things, well, I'd like to do this differently here. Or I'd want this to be, you know, done earlier in the process or anything like that. Because, I mean, that's just part of making something you. And I guess that's, when people say good artists steal, they don't mean literally steal. Just for people that don't know this too, I've had people come up to me when I try to talk about my fan artist stealing thing, and they're like, well, you know, good artists steal. I'm like, that's not what that means. That is not what that means. That means that you're taking something that you like from something else and throwing it into your little cauldron as like an ingredient that you're going to use to make your own thing. The whole idea is that you take something from something else and make it so much more your own that it's indiscernible from the original. You want to make sure anything you take from something else is like absolutely turned into something yours. That's the good artist steal. They really shouldn't say steal. They should say something completely different than that. Steal is the wrong word. Rob and pillage. Well, Fire Seal, you're not that mean though. And I can't, if you are, so, okay, good example. If Fire Seal's taking someone else's style, he's doing it so well, I don't even know. You're changing it so much into you that to me it's you. And I don't know who else it'd be, you know? Hey, Mage. Doom, right? Well, yeah, it's a squash. It's a gourd, you know. I don't know. Yeah, it does sound like getting inspired by it, and it really that's what it means, but I think someone wanted to be more quippy. Instead of saying inspired, they said steal, which I think was a bad idea. Because a lot of people take that super literally. It's kind of blown up. Yeah, exactly, Corey. There you go. Steal is punchy. It's a buzzword. People love it. People can take it out of context and use it for their own. Yeah, no. But yeah, I always have to explain that to people. That's not what it means. Like, why would you steal anything? Like, what? Or good artists borrow, you know? You turn it into your own thing. The trick is to make it indiscernible, and honestly, I think it's easier to do when you're pulling from a lot of different sources. So what was cool about when I started doing conventions is I didn't really see a style, right? And I didn't really care because I was like, well, my style will develop someday. I have to be patient with it, whatever, right? And people started telling me all the things my stuff reminded them of. Some things I'd never heard of, like Redwall. I had never heard of Redwall. But other things, like people would say Brian Froud or Beatrix Potter. And I would light up like, oh my god, I love those things. Those are some of my favorite things in the world. Like Brian Froud's art and Beatrix Potter's like cute critters. Oh my god, you see that in my work? And I flip out. So I feel like that's me stealing where I don't even know I'm doing it really. But it's been such a huge thing for me. Like I don't one for one look at like Brian Froud stuff and redraw it. But I've looked at so much of it in the past that it's worked its way in. And I feel like that's how it comes back out. It goes in through your creative filter, and it comes back out as yours, you know, in your own way. You're welcome, Fire Seal. You've done a good job as seeing your art as your art. I don't know. Hey, Zenko.
Zenko.
Love me a buzzword. Yeah, Coda, that's so crazy. You were probably like the 12th person to say Redwall. Like, when I first started hearing that, it was probably when I started doing cons 2 years ago, and I went to a half price with Gabe after the con, and I was like, I gotta find out what Redwall is, because I have no idea, and people keep saying this. I gotta figure it out. So we went to a half price. I bought all the books for cheap because half price is great, and I found the DVD. I still haven't read or seen any of it because I'm kind of afraid that if I read it now, I'll be almost too influenced by it, and I almost don't want that. So at least I have it in case I get curious, and now I know what it is. I don't know. Hey, Artemis! Oh, don't worry about it, Coda. No, don't worry about ever having enough for artists. Like, the one thing we hate hearing is, oh, I wish I still had money, and we look in your hand and maybe you've got fan art, and we're like, really? You had money and you bought fan art with it?
Go return that print.
You just let someone steal from you. So instead, save it for people that, you know, maybe put their heart and soul into stuff. But in general, don't feel bad about that. If you don't have any money to buy stuff, just spread the word about the artist. That's the best thing you can do for free, is, you know, pimp them out on the internet, social media, everything. Fire Seal, why didn't you apply to Emerald City? Oh man, we need to have you there, like, tabling with us. What?
I mean, maybe.
Do you want to share a table with Gabe?
Well, Whoa. No, I was going to say, we might be able to just...
Get him a table?
No, I think usually we get 2 tickets.
Oh.
Yeah, you might not even need to buy one.
Contact us on Instagram.
Yeah.
You could be one of our booth buddies.
One of our booth runners. Like,
yeah.
If we need a pretzel.
Yeah. So, let us know, because if you wouldn't mind doing that sort of stuff for us here and there,
especially if you've just got the whole weekend off and you just want to go like the entire weekend, then yeah.
What sound, Doom?
It was the.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my pencil sharpener. I'll try to warn about that. I should really move it over there. Sorry.
Oh.
I keep forgetting about that.
So I went to GameStop on Friday.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah.
To pick up
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls Remastered because I've never played it, and so I was playing that.
He's been streaming it too, so
yeah.
if anybody wants to watch Gabe really beef it at Dark Souls, it's been pretty fun though.
And
to watch.
When I was in there, like I beelined it to the PS4 section, and it's all the way in the back. I don't know why they do that. It's like, is Xbox more important? I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to allure.
I don't know. I think maybe that I'm sort of different stores have different setups.
Yeah.
But so I went back there just to look for it, and as soon as I got over there, I swear to God, there was like all the major all the games are up against walls,
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the stores, usually they have like little islands with racks and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of got I walked up and I'm looking for it. I'm looking like, all right, what the hell's the name of the game?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. I'm like, all right.
Oh my God.
B's, C's, D's, and I'm trying to look through all the D's, to find it. And
well, it probably looked like you were looking for Call of Duty.
yeah. And so out of the corner of my eye, I swear to God, the guy came out
of the
from behind
wall?
out from behind the little island of in the middle of the store, but he stepped up, like he came out of like out of the floor, like T-1000 out of the floor, and I think he must have been kneeling and like shuffling something around on the on the rack or whatever.
Hey guy.
And he's like, hey, what's up, buddy? Can I help you with anything? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm just I'm good. Just looking, and he's like, "Oh, all right. Hey, you here for Call of Duty?" And I'm like, "Nah, man. I'm a little more sadistic than that." And then I reached out and I grabbed the Dark Souls, and he's like, "Oh, you're one of those guys. Okay, all right. Okay, I get it. You want to feel the pain? Okay, cool. Yeah, no, they'll take you up there, man. Yeah." I was like, "All right." Yeah, it was really.
I thought he kept trying to sell you on it.
Nah, no. I think like those people come in, and you're like, oh, you're one of those. Okay, yeah. You don't mess around with Call of Duty. You go straight for the meat.
Man, I like Call of Duty when it was made by Infinity Ward. Okay, when Treyarch did it, it was not as good, and those are all the Black Ops games, and I could not get into that. All the other ones had really good campaigns, and they were written well, and they were like movies, but the other studio doing them, no.
Oh yeah, Artemis. Yeah, back in my day, back when it was a 2-day show, I could just walk in there. Oh yeah, it was a 2-day show. Yeah, it was tiny.
Was it at the same spot?
Yeah, I used to go to that one. Actually, I think maybe the second or third year it was on. I got a free table, and I shared it with Andre.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Fire Seal. All the Modern Warfares were awesome. 1, 2, and 3 were awesome.
I just read that like it was a joke, like Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, and it's like, but no, that's the name of the damn game, isn't it? Yeah, and it looked like it was a joke.
It's 4, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a joke.
But it's the Modern Warfare storyline.
Right.
With all 3 of those games had the same characters.
Oh.
And that's why they were fun, because they kept building the characters, and the characters were good.
Okay.
Like Soap and McTavish. McTavish, you'd love him.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool as hell. But, I mean, I'm not even into war junk. I mean, look at me, right? And I love those games. They actually built up a lot of the rapport with the characters, but it wasn't in such a lame way or anything like that. It was cool. I liked it a lot. I also like Gears of War.
I wish I could play those again.
What, Gears?
Or I wish I could play Gears, yeah. But like
Why can't
stream them. But stream them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's alright.
I mean, you could, but it'd be a little difficult.
Yeah, I'd have to do it on the computer. I don't even know if it's on computer. Is it only 360?
Well, I mean, I've got my 360. You just have to like.
And some heavy duty. We'd have to.
It'd be a pain in the
We have
ass.
to have a PC. Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth it,
Mhm.
but you would make a lot of good cracks about it.
Oh yeah.
Like the locusts and how funny they are. Because their ragdoll system comes up a lot, and that can be really funny.
I'm really enjoying on what's it called, on Dark Souls though, when once in a while you get someone caught in you and you're just dragging them around and they're like they're just like dancing like we're going to the party. Yeah, and it's an exclusive. That sucks.
I haven't played 4 though, where it's Marcus's son, right? For anybody that's played it, is it worth it?
That's another thing. Like Xbox One is like I never like.
I don't want one.
I have zero want for it.
Like the 360 in my eyes was still like a perfect system.
Yeah.
And then it took me a long time to actually be like, okay, I should probably jump to PS4. And then I did, and then it was just sad because, like, for some reason, the way they did achievements on the 360 was just perfect. It made you actually competitive and care about, you know, all that crap. My friends and I would actually compete a lot for gamer score. We had rules, like you couldn't play kids games to get gamer score easy. It was really fun. And it hasn't ever been the same.
Hey Kaiser.
Hey Kaiser!
You know what's messed up is there's like a Russian dude that made a game that was super stupid easy to play.
Yeah.
And he made it that way so that he was trying to. He made it like $2 or something, right?
Yeah.
For PlayStation.
Yeah.
And he made it super easy so that you could get tons and tons and tons of achievements.
You mean trophies?
Yeah, trophies.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Calling them trophies, and when they come up, please. PlayStation, it
Yeah.
is not a thing
No,
when
it's
they
not.
come up. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you got a trophy.
But it was like super genius of him because then he like sold like tons of copies.
That's totally cheating.
Yeah,
though.
it was cheating, but he was trying to fund a game that he really wanted to make. But he's like, you know, if I just make a really shitty game that's really easy to beat.
But that's
and-
every kid's game. Like you get
Yeah.
one of the Lego games, you can beat that in an hour.
No, but they made this one like even easier.
Oh, I
like,
believe
yeah.
it. Like open this thing, you get this
Yeah.
thing. It's going all right, man. We're both getting over colds from New York, but it's good. Yeah, everybody going for tickets for EC. Good luck.
The scalpers are always around.
But yeah, Fire Seal, talk to us, because we might be able to get you in if, you scratch our back, we scratch yours.
Trade.
You know, whatever. What are you
Also,
guys doing?
maybe if you got your shit together, maybe we can sell some of your stuff at my table. I don't know. I
Just
don't know.
saying.
I'm not promising anything, but maybe. I don't know how my next year will be going.
Either way, people at table get multiple tickets, so.
Artemis, what is homegrown?
Is that where they pimp local artists? Because I think C2E2 does that too.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because what about people like in Minnesota?
You got your own show.
No, we don't. Like, nothing by Reed Pop.
Yeah.
Please. Like, that's not fair.
Mhm.
Like, where you'd get pimped, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I'm trying to decide if I want to make these guys white or I'll just do. Oh. I want them to be dark.
Did you install the game? Hey Kaiser. I think we said hi to Kaiser.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay.
We said hi, Kaiser. I think he asked us how we were, though. We're okay.
Oh, I see what you mean, Artemis. Okay. See, that's cool then. Because I don't think they don't have that for C2E2.
Gabe is left-handed. Yes.
I am left-handed, yeah.
He's a freak of nature. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It actually is funny when we eat at like a restaurant or something, we have to be on certain sides or else our elbows are fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm usually on the right side and he's usually on the left side, so it's funny. It's one of those things you wouldn't think of being a thing, but once it's happening, it's a thing. But I'm trying a different process of doing a painting that one of my friends does, and I'm going about it the way she does it just to see how it feels and if I like any part of doing it, to kind of work it into my process maybe. I mean, it's part of the reason you kind of experiment. So this is acetate and it's like somewhat see-through, and I'm tracing an older drawing that I'm gonna paint this with. Right, yeah. Hold on, I'm going to sharpen my pencil this time.
I am working on catching up for Drawtober / Inktober. And to answer your question, Doom, I used to, but now I've, like you learn to not ink from left to right. So now I ink from right to left, like a Japanese person, I guess.
You didn't last night.
Huh?
You didn't last night.
What?
I saw you going left to right.
Yeah, I mean, in some places I do, but it's also dependent on what kind of ink I'm using. If it takes forever to dry, then obviously I work backwards, or I'll start from the bottom right hand portion of a drawing and I'll go up to the left hand.
Shit. What are you guys doing? Is anybody else doing their Inktober, Drawtober right now? You can always do that during our stream. On Tuesdays, Thursdays on my stream, or Mondays and Wednesdays on Gabe's stream. If you want to just set aside that time to, hang out, have an art jam with us and draw, by all means, feel free. So I'm still equally dreading and excited for the drive to FairyCon, which is 15 hours, which we've already done like a 14-hour drive this year, which was to AwesomeCon, and it's not that bad of a drive. It's just that many hours it's a lot, and you gotta do it within a day or so. Usually we split it up where we do bulk of the driving one day and then sleep at a cheap hotel, and then the next day do like 4 hours or something and then set up that day. So it can be kind of crazy, but let's see. Ooh, yeah, leave work. That sounds nice. Drawing a swole dragon. Nice, Firescale. I'm excited to see it. Too late to start. No! You're never too late. Think about it. If you started Inktober in November, it could be Inktober next year. And you can just upload them every day and you didn't even have to draw them. No one's going to know. No one's going to know.
Also, it's, think about just doing one or two throughout the month anyways, or just do, a couple. You don't have to do it every single day.
As long as you're, doing them here and there, it's just to get you in the habit of drawing more habitually. But if you don't, that's okay, but I would still say to try a couple, because then you can actually get that exposure through the hashtag, as long as you're using Inktober, or if you're doing Drawtober, doing the prompts correctly, all that sort of stuff.
It's mostly, it's a good way to get exposure on Instagram and Twitter and all that.
Ooh, Coda's playing Overwatch. Have fun, man. Oh, is today's song shut? Oh. Is that for Drawtober, Corey?
Yeah.
Oh. Good job, Kaiser. You did it already today. Yeah, oh my god. I haven't been hit with a cold since DragonCon. And even before that, it was like a year. But every time I get hit with one, there's like 1 or 2 days, I have no energy. None. So Doom, I've been doing my book theme for probably this is the 4th year now, And I've been building up to making a book, which I'll be making after this Inktober, because now I have enough books. It's a book of books. So, whoa, right? Crazy. So hopefully next year for conventions, I'll have my book of books with me or able to sell on my website. But what I plan on doing is, if you look at, recently I did a Moss book, and if some of you saw the Moss book, let's see, this guy here. So the idea was that you would read the page after it's grown. Yeah, you gotta wait for it to grow. And then you scrape it off and you know, tend to it, and then the next page will grow, and that's a whole different page. Ideally the next page. But I included here a little excerpt, and if you read the excerpt, this is probably the most telltale of what kind of verbiage will be with each book in the book. So I've got about, if you look at this series hashtag here, I've got 105 books that I've done. I probably won't include them all. I might have to redo a couple, and a couple I might just get rid of, because I mean they're kind of old at this point. But there's around 105, and then so if I'm doing like prose on one side and then the book on the other, that's double the amount of pages. So I could even do 50 of the books here and 50 prose, and it'd still be like a 100-page book. So I wanted to make sure I had enough for that, but it's been really tough. Around this time every year, at least the past 2 years, I get really dry for ideas.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. But I'll think of something. There's a few things I haven't touched yet, because it's like, one was a teeth book, and I haven't done that yet because I'm like, how would I want it to be tactful and smart and clever. I don't want to just put a bunch of teeth on a book. You know, usually all my books have a purpose. Like the Eclipse book I did last night is actually a combination of 2 books that you would alternate the pages and read, you know, off and on the other book with that one, and it would form the actual full narrative that the books would form once they're put together, being an eclipse book, right? So one side's the sun, one side's the moon, that sort of stuff. So I like making the books actually have an idea behind them, like a reason, right? So to actually every day think of that, it's kind of hard. I don't know. So today was actually too tough, and my brain's still not running at 100% because of being sick. So I told myself, all right, tomorrow I'll do 2. And sometimes you have to do that, but... Kaiser asks, we do so many cons, what cons are a must? If you can get into them, that's the hard part, is learning when they open and applying at the right time, and also knowing the right people. I'd say Emerald City, you can say yay or nay to what I say. Emerald City, C2E2, ACEN, if you can.
Anime Central.
Anime Central.
Chicago.
C2E2 and ACEN are in Chicago. Not SuperCon, not Heroes Con. Gen Con is for, I feel like, a very specific type, but Kaiser, you know what I'm talking about when I say that. You were at Gen Con. So the art show, you can kind of see what I mean by that. Dragon Con is a great show. Great show. Not Keystone. Not Keystone.
I think anything in Florida is just
forget about Florida cons.
Yeah.
Just forget about them. New York Comic Con.
By the way, we're talking about like creators. Like if you are a business person, okay, then you can go to any.
Yeah,
convention.
This is if you have your own original art, your own content. This is even excluding fan art. We're not including fan art at all with this. This is original content where you're trying to make it as you. Okay? So Emerald, C2E2, ACEN, Gen Con, if you fit it. It's a smaller one. It's harder to get into. Dragon Con, New York, and I think that's it. TwitchCon if you do Twitch. We got into it, but there's no way we can actually do it, so we're kind of bummed.
There is
We
small
would, though.
small press expo.
Oh, yeah.
In,
That's good if you have a lot of your own books and stuff. If you make a lot of zines, or if you publish your own books, kind of like Gabe or I do. Small Press Expo, that's what it's meant for, really. But some cons really do depend on your focus. Like if you're a print artist, if you're a storyteller, what you want to do. If you want to be a game artist, obviously going to Gen Con should be your coup de grace, you know.
or game artist.
Or game artist, yeah. Let's see. Hopefully that helped, Kaiser. Let us know if you have more questions on that. Moss book is to learn patience. That basically, yeah, it's a Chia Pet book. Is how I put it, I guess. So Artemis, Inktober has its own prompts too. For the people who are starting off with maybe not being completely in the swing of making things daily, it is hard to come up with your own stuff. So that's why they give the prompts. And there are so many prompt lists that you can choose from. Someone has one called Orientober, which I'm still not sure what that means.
Is that racist?
I couldn't figure that out. But someone else has Herbtober, and it's all herbs. Every day is another herb, so you just make a drawing around that day's herb. Drawtober is not ink-centric. It's got its own prompts, but you can use whatever you want. However, if you do use ink, you can use Inktober and the Drawtober hashtags and cash in on both, which, you know, if you're doing the work, you deserve it. If you are one of those people that's doing Inktober hashtags and you're not using ink, shame on you. Shame on you, okay? But there are tons. Like, so many people have made their own prompt lists for Inktober. I have a friend that's there's so many, she's taking a different prompt from a different list every single day. So you have all these ideas sitting out there that you can just pluck. Like, think of yourself being in an orchard that grows every single fruit. You can pluck from anything. Like, it's crazy.
I think one of the biggest problems though with these monthly challenges that everybody thinks it's got to be like, you know, like the Sistine Chapel and shit. It's got to be like the best piece that you've ever drawn every day for 31 days.
That's
no.
not the point. Perfection for all these monthly challenges is not the focus. It's not the emphasis. If you are going for that, you will fail. You will fail and you will think, oh, I can't do anything anymore. I suck at this. That is not the point. You have to get used to being imperfect because you will never be perfect. And that's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, that should be super freeing. The minute you think, oh, this doesn't ever have to be perfect, I'll just do my best. Okay.
Literally, it is a marathon.
Yeah, it's just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaiser, you'd like Dragon Con. I don't know how you feel about after parties and stuff, but if you're that type of person, we're not. But if you are, you will love it. Every single hotel, there's 4. Every one of them has a lobby DJ at night, like after I think 7 or 8 o'clock, the DJ starts. And so when we're coming back from the con, you have to prove you have a badge to get into the hotel. And it's like a club. But I mean, we just go right up to the room and just draw the rest of the night. We're not partiers. We don't like that stuff. But the people that do love it. It's technically like the cosplay party con. You know?
Imagine going to an anime con, but it's all adults.
Kaiser had said that the climate for SBX changed over the years and seems more friendly to mainstream. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I've never been, but everyone I know that goes to it
I would actually agree with that because Andy's stuff is kind of more Adventure Timey.
Yeah, and I don't know what you mean by mainstream. Like are you saying like Marvel and DC people are going there?
Yeah, is that what you mean?
Because everyone I saw that went there was like. Like everyone that I saw that did a really good job or did it really well there was very.
Oh, Night Kaiser.
Yeah, it was very not Marvel or DC style.
Artemis, yes. So Drawloween. If you've heard of Drawtober, Drawloween is what caused Drawtober.
Yeah.
So our friends Tim and Key from Vaughn House, where we used to live with them, there was a point where they were doing Drawloween and they're like, I'm not satisfied with this. So they ended up kind of getting in gear and making Drawtober in response to Drawloween not holding up. They're kind of spooky end of the bargain, I guess. And plus, Tim and Key are really good at thinking of, like, Halloween stuff. So I feel like they raised the bar on that. Plus, they give away prizes. So I think Drawloween did this year, too, but I think that's after Drawtober.
Yeah, beat the pants off
Yeah,
them.
like, went crazy last year.
I think they do. They were also doing a way better job of pimping other people.
Yeah.
Whereas Drawloween was, it almost seemed like they were just doing.
Well, because Tim
Their
had
friends.
talked to them, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had
they're
talked
like,
to them, and they were just not rising to the occasion.
Yeah, it's like, let's partner up. I would love to partner up with you. And Tim, mind you, has like, at the point, I think he had like 80,000 followers, and he's like, hey, I'd love to team up with you and pimp, Drawloween.
If you let me, like, help you out.
Yeah, and the guy was like, no thanks, we're doing fine on our own. It's like, are you, like, dumb? Like, bro,
Yeah.
this guy is like, like an internet star. Come
I think
on.
at the time, too, they weren't taking it seriously and didn't
Yeah.
want to put much time into it.
Yep,
And Tim was like, fine. It's the same reason we started Journey June.
yeah.
Tim was frustrated with it, so he went and made his own thing. I'm telling you, anger, it can be used for good, So that's why we did Journey June, because Adventure April wasn't what we wanted it to be. Maybe that's how all these different monthly challenges get
Right.
made. It's gotta be. Someone else is just mad
Mhm.
that what, they want to exist doesn't. And that goes for any of you guys. If you want something to exist that doesn't, go make it exist. Why not?
I think I
If
saw.
two people do it, you're succeeding.
I think somebody did Orktober.
Orktober?
Yeah.
That's cute. I could see you doing that someday. I like that. I'd do Trolltober. I'm not into orcs, but trolls. That'd be cute as hell. I kind of am tempted to do November.
Oh.
I am. Because
If
I've
you-
never done my kind of gnomes.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like everybody has their kind of gnome, right? I don't know.
I think I might do Huevember just to, if it's got a good, like, if there's a lot of people doing it, I'll do it. But, like,
Well,
I
you're
wanted.
good with color too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to do a bunch of. I want to do more pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that, like, a lot of the ones that I do are very drab. So I was like, all right, I gotta start doing. I want to do like a limited palette on little tiny cards and see what I can do.
I mean, that's the other reason these challenges are good. If you're in like this stagnant sort of space, they can actually kind of bust you out of that by making you get out of your comfort zone, which I think is the overall hidden thing for it, really.
Shenanigans. I know. That's. Is that a thing?
Shenanigans. Shenanigans are subjective, man.
Yeah,
like
is that
to
a-
each. What do you consider shenanigans?
Yeah.
I mean, think about what someone who gets drunk on a regular basis
Right.
thinks shenanigans are compared to someone who doesn't drink at all. Let's say.
Like, take
So,
like a
tonight-
super religious person.
I'm jumping out of my comfort zone because I've never done this before. So now we're on to stage 2. Thank you, Fire Seal, for your segue that you didn't realize you did. So we're gonna go now to the paint stage. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I don't even have a palette right now to refer to. So we'll see what happens, I guess. The other thing that's interesting is how she does her backgrounds, which I don't want to do it the way she does it. She'll usually paint in the main elements here, and then she'll flip it over, paint in the stuff, and then everywhere else is just black. I don't want to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do it a little differently. Also, the fact that this is my bleed paper for my markers. So it's got marker bleed on it, so that's distracting. So I'm going to turn it around. And Gabe's still plucking away at his stuff where you can't see anything right now. There you go. Your hand keeps getting in the way is the problem. I love it. I love what Banksy did. The thing that's sad, though, is the fact that now people are going to be bidding on the pieces And it's totally against what he would want, right? Like, the fact that now it's even probably more expensive because that happened and because it had that moment where you wonder if he knew that was going to happen. I don't know. I just love art like that. Like, I think what he did is what modern art is actually supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like actually modern art, for the most part, should be performance art. Honestly.
That makes all the sense, yeah.
It really does, if you think about it. Like, you need parts to it to actually flesh it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one story that Tim told me about the guy that drew like a Renaissance style painting, and it was amazing and huge. He sold it, and the night before they actually took it, he painted over it with just blue. And the fact people knew there was like this amazing painting underneath it is what actually sold it. Like that idea. Like, I feel with modern art, you're probably selling an idea, which for some people, they can just lie. They can lie, and they can say, oh, this represents the era in the modern era of blah, and you're like, what? Or like the whole, there's a melting toilet or something.
Are you having
like,
a stroke, bro?
Yeah, what does this mean? And then they go into this flowery whatever. I don't like that. But if it's something like Banksy's thing, I think that's cool. But I think it's sad that it's kind of like Childish Gambino's This Is America thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact people were making memes then off of This Is America, which was about the meme culture. And it's like, it's meta, but it's kind of sad, that they called it, that they knew this is going to be bastardized again, Anyway. But I love that stuff.
I saw somebody selling prints of that on Instagram.
Prints of what?
Of the, like they recreated that piece.
Which one? What
The Banksy piece. They recreated it, and then they just I guess just painted in like black stripes to make it look like it was.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
it's
god.
like, we've only got so many prints of this left, guys.
That's the one part of art I will never like. And this is where we dip into fan art again, is the fact that there are always going to be, I'm not even call them half artists. Half artists that know how to art well enough to rip off the real artists to actually sell it for more money and stuff like that. Like, they're half artists, half businessmen / thief, So there's always going to be those people, and that bothers me because they're not in art for the right reasons. And that's why I'm getting so mad at fan art. I mean, really, it's no good, man. We need to stop it at the consumer, too. The consumers are what need to know that fan art's illegal. And that's what bothers me. I need water for my paint. So, if you guys don't want to help someone steal, don't buy fan art that isn't licensed. If the artist worked on the property or has permission to sell it, that's totally different. Hey, one of my barrettes. Awesome. Why are you looking at?
I'm trying to do math.
Oh, yeah. That'll take a while. Enjoy!
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, how much time we actually need to drive.
Oh, look at these. Oh, that's brown. Ooh. Gabe, what's a good kind of orangey color? Gold ochre, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I got my bag. I pulled my bag out too if you want to use it.
No, I'm going to try to use just my palette and see what I got. Okay, let's try this. Oh, maybe wait.
Is that drive is really only like under 14 hours?
Oh, it's not 18?
No.
Oh, you said 18.
No way. No, that's to like New York.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. Okay.
So we can do 10 hours.
Oh yeah, no, this is totally better than what I was thinking. Something totally wrong. Hey, do you have a palette anywhere by chance? Like one of those cheap plastic 99-cent things?
No.
I do so much, but I don't.
I mean, you can use my tray if you want.
Oh yeah, do you have that handy?
Yeah, but everyone's gonna see the background for a second.
That's okay. Don't look.
Don't look, guys. It's embarrassing.
You can see my ceiling fan. I love ceiling fan. Oh, it's already collecting hair, bro.
Well,
Look
yeah,
at,
it's dust.
Look at,
Dust
oh.
and hair and dust. Dusty hairs.
What are you guys up to? You still gaming and stuff? Wait.
I don't know why, immediately, I was gonna ask if anybody knows anything about Kamen Rider, and immediately I thought, maybe Fire Seal knows about this shit,
He might.
and I don't know why, but maybe it's
I
because
think it's his style.
he's in Seattle, and,
Oh, that might be too.
and I just immediately think like
Do
a
you
bunch
have a
of
napkin?
Japanese culture in Seattle. This is like really dirty.
As long as there's no snot.
Well,
That's okay. Gabe wants to know if you know about Kamen Rider. Not Kamen the rapper. Kamen Rider. So apparently the nice thing about this is I can just start doing this. Like, you're basically just doing flats on the back side of the paper. Which I'm like, okay. I was wondering though about like, you know, like shading and stuff, but apparently you can do that on the other side. I don't know, like it's really weird to me. So we're gonna see what happens. I don't even know. So I'm gonna make him this color because I want the, I'll just do this. The pumpkin to actually be like a pumpkin color. And some gourds are this light color. And I did want to make him like a happy spirit. So because of that, I'm gonna make him a lighter color instead of a darker, because you know gourds come in all these different colors.
It's the early Power Rangers. Yeah, no, I'm
I don't know
trying to
why. I
find-
thought he liked Sentai too.
yeah, I'm trying to find like where to watch it that isn't
A paid subscription?
no, like where I can watch it that is paid, because then at least I know it's
Legit?
yeah, not only legit, but I don't have to deal with like hentai banners and shit and advertisements
Oh, good point.
or
So-
possible like malware and you know web viruses and shit, not web viruses.
So this is interesting. The paint keeps separating.
What do you mean?
Like, there's little pockets where it's not thick enough apparently, and it starts opening.
Oh,
Like little circles.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
I think it's just because this stuff's so plasticky. So I'm wondering why she doesn't just use acrylic.
Oh, yeah.
Why
weird.
gouache? Because she's not even blending it at any point, so why gouache? And it keeps tightening up to where I go to the edges and it'll break away from the edges. It's really weird. Like, I've never seen this before. I'm not using any water because I think water would actually hurt this. This is very strange. Maybe she does a couple different layers. Maybe she uses gouache because it has a history of being very consistent.
Oh, it could also maybe crack less.
Oh, then acrylic?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's doing this weird thing where I have to keep going over it. Alright, let's see how that goes. Yeah, we've looked into Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Crunchyroll doesn't have it, neither does Funimation, and I think those are the only real ones that actually have it.
So Amazon didn't even have it?
I mean, Amazon has it, but
You have to buy it?
no. I mean, they've got that new one that's Amazon's.
Oh, but yeah, we want the old ones first.
Yeah, but I mean, even when it comes down to the old ones, there's only so many.
I'm also trying this method too because I'm sick of rendering. I'm sick of doing like all these super rendered pieces that have all this lighting and all these shading spots and all this crap. I'm honestly sick of it, and I want to do kind of more graphical stuff or just more simple stuff. I don't know, I have so much more respect in so many ways for simplistic art, because in a lot of ways I find it more impressive when you can do something that it's a simple shape, it's a simple idea, yet it speaks strongly, you know? And I feel like too many artists nowadays cover up their inadequacy with detail. And that's starting to bother the crap out of me. Almost to the point where I don't want any part of it. You know? I don't even want, when people say my stuff's super detailed, I kind of like cringe. So I almost don't want that anymore. I know that's kind of weird. And I'm probably, you know, it's kind of a counterculture idea, I guess. Because so many people do like detail, but man, you gotta be true to you, and if it's not feeling right, you gotta go with that. See, it's doing this weird, do you see this? Okay, see all those little dots?
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before, so I have to keep going over it.
It might be oil.
I think it is, because the top of it was super oily.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, maybe it'll make a cool texture on the other side. If it dries, maybe it'll be neat. Doubtful, but, you know. But, like, for someone to have the knowledge to make a very simple silhouette, shape figure, character, all that sort of stuff, and have it read clearly, like, their intent, their body language, all that kind of stuff. To me, that's very impressive. And a good painter can do that too, but I feel like nowadays so many artists are tending to run together. I'm gonna blame Magic the Gathering a little bit. Mage, is it Royal Ghost March by chance? Oh, it's Scott Fisher. No, I don't know about him. My friend that I'm kind of going off of with this, her name is Royal Ghost March. This is all she does. So, yeah, this is acetate. I'm not sure if that's what Scott uses. Cool. But it is interesting. I really like how the pencils work on it, but make sure, like I trace this, that you trace something you've previously drawn, because I don't think erasers would fare well with this. So, just keep that in mind, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna wait, because it keeps going away from the edges here. Nice thing about it is it does seem to fill in. Gouache is usually very consistent. So as it dries, this is a very nice flat. Oh, don't feel bad, Mage. When she mentioned this, I had never heard of it. Ever. I was like, vellum? It's like, no. No. Actually, Gabe, do you have a cup that I could use similar to that I could just dump water in? Like dirty water? Do you want to go get that one mug?
I was just gonna give you this one, but it didn't.
Oh, sure. If you don't mind. I'm running out of table space. Oh, not the I Love Weekends.
This one?
No.
It's just,
I'll go get the other one.
It's just ink.
No.
Or just stuff.
Fine. But I don't have enough water anyway.
Alright, I'll get you shit. Oh!
At least you're not as trapped as I am. They're not like the projector pieces. Those are a lot more, those are literally, like, transparent. This isn't fully transparent. Like, it's still super frosted. So, however, this has a really cool effect on the other side. Check that out. That's already really cool. I like that. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So, like, on the back.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm digging this hard. Because that simplicity, too. I really want that. So this is... I'm getting the desired effect, yeah. Yeah, it's very frosted, so... you kind of have to, I guess, know what you're doing with that. So, you'll have to know how to manage a background, you know, and be familiar with gouache and paint a bit. I'd say before, you know, getting cool with this, but yeah, I don't know. I really dig it, and she's been doing it a long time to where, I mean, she's got it down, you know. This is a pretty nice pumpkin-y color. What do you do when there is that oil, Gabe? Do you just mush it around, or what?
I have no idea. You might have to, like,
You might try some blending?
well, I was gonna say you might have to make it, you might have to wash it before you start.
What's this one? Oh, that's watercolor. Whoops. Can't use watercolor. Is this brown? That's red. I just wonder... Nah, I'll stick with the... Thanks, Sanko! Yeah, this is turning out kind of cool. So, I mean, you can always try a method that someone else is using, but then, of course, you know, figure out what you like and don't like about it. Because you're your own artist, you don't have to do it exactly like they do. And it's almost, like, recommended you don't. So that they still have their style and you can have yours. Remember, there's so many, you can have so many different styles, you guys. Don't forget about that. Everybody's always worried about, oh, when am I going to find my style? What makes you think you only need one? That's crazy talk. I would almost say no artist has just one style. Really, you don't need just one. Depending on what medium you're using, you're always going to have a different style, in my opinion. Because you're going to go about every single medium in a different way. You may approach it the same, but since it's a different medium, it's going to react differently. And obviously my digital style you wouldn't even know it's me, probably. Because it's so different than my normal stuff. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. How's your stuff going, Gabe?
Good.
What'd you decide to do for the gold drill?
You'll see.
Oh, come on, man. Will I like it?
I don't know. Yes?
Does it have the ghost hamburger?
No.
Damn it. Come on. It's a perfect use for a ghost hamburger. I'm not gonna get a like that again. A chance, a situation. Put in a ghost hamburger. This is actually very therapeutic. I'll be honest, just kind of like even covering up lines. I know I'm on the back side of it, but for some reason, just having a total disregard for some lines feels really cool. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some mental thing with that, but I don't know. I think the only real challenge with this that I'm seeing is getting the actual consistency of the gouache to stay constant.
Hmm.
And it looks different when it dries too. And knowing if you've got some jacked up gouache to probably mix it or use it differently. Also, my hand's pretty steady tonight, so that's helping. Also, don't forget, if you guys want to see how to use screen tones, tomorrow Gabe's going to be doing that on his stream.
Yeah.
His stream is listed in the upper right. If you like what Gabe's doing, you like Gabe's sneeze noise, whatever, go give Gabe a follow. Tomorrow he'll be doing screen tones. Gabe, do you want to explain what screen tones are to the
Screen tones are the stuff that you see in a manga. So like
a lot of the effects
shading?
tones? Yeah.
So like
Little kawaii hearts and junk in the background.
yeah, sometimes, but mostly it's like so it's all like the gray stuff, you know, that you see here. So or that, you know, like it's
I used to think somebody actually like
yeah.
inked those, but that's not how it is.
Or even like this stuff here. How to get those effects and stuff. This one doesn't use it that much actually, which is weird. But I'll show you. It's a piece of plastic with some
Adhesive.
yeah, with very light adhesive to it. So you gotta cut it out. But I'll be going through that tomorrow.
At 4 p.m. CST.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is on these detailed parts, like I have to go back in and do grass. I'm wondering how that's not gonna mix. If gouache doesn't have any water, it's not gonna mix, right? It's just gonna go over it.
As long as it, well, as long as you don't water or go at it too hard,
Yeah.
it should be fine. It shouldn't bug it.
Colors on this are a little bit off. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. It's a little bit too saturated. Yeah, that's a bit more accurate. He had me at the coughing, right? That's Gabe for you. He can win you over in an instant. Especially the cat. Yeah, screen tone can be a MFer, but I mean, if you learn to use it right, it's kind of like, I'm gonna actually say it's like gold foil. When you foil something using like gold leaf. When you're gold leafing, that crap, if you're staticky, you're effed. You are so effed. And not only that, but like if you're trying to put it down, if you breathe too hard, it goes everywhere. So I feel like that the amount of delicacy it requires is kind of this similar to screen tone, honestly. Oh no, Sniggle, no! At least you're here. At least you're here. So, Coda, Gabe says, thank you for the follow.
What?
He said he followed you.
Oh, thank you.
He's really happy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Despite how he sounds. Were you sleeping though, Snake? Did you need to sleep? If you needed to sleep, you need to sleep. Also, I'm sorry I'm still raspy. No, I'm not a smoker. It's because I am getting over a cold. And Sniggle, I think you bugged me, man. You bugged me because you were like, oh, it's because Ashley's sick. I'm like, I'm not sick. Guess who got sick? Thanks. You bum. I ended up getting sick probably the day after I streamed. And then I got sick, really sick, and then I got better, and now I'm at the tail end. You were about to sleep. Oh, well, sleep if you need to. You know that. You don't need to stick around. You gotta sleep, you gotta sleep. This is tough, because then you need to, like, for sure dry it. I wasn't sick right away, though. I hadn't hit it. It was still just raspy. Unless you knew something I didn't. Because after cons, I am always raspy. Okay, so far, that's where we're at. That's a little rough. I don't like that you can see all the brush strokes, but maybe it's just not dry yet.
That's part of the appeal, I think.
Is that?
Yeah. It sort of looks like, you know, can't be perfect in it.
I don't know, man. Hers didn't have that.
Maybe she just photoshops it out, I don't know.
I don't know. Do you have to work tonight, or are you off? I'm gonna have to switch my brush. Maybe. I'm so stubborn when it comes to having to switch my brush. I never want to do it. Any of you guys like that? You're like, I can probably make it work. It's like, dude, just admit it. You probably can't make that work. Nah, I can make it work. I didn't realize that we were basically gonna move within 2 weeks of getting back from FairyCon, so I've been actually starting to pack on and off now. So that's good. Get that out of the way. At least as much as I can. Luckily, a lot of our stuff is still in boxes. We were so busy when we moved, we weren't actually able to unpack, which ended up helping us. And I also knew we weren't going to be here too long, so I was like, well, what's the point of unpacking? You know? Oh, you're off tonight. Awesome. What are you going to do with all your copious free time? Do you maintain the normal sleep schedule that you have when you work, when you're off too? We had a crazy year, it's true, but honestly it was a great year. I was so glad we actually got our own place. I'm just not meant for roommates. We had really nice roommates, very skilled people. We were lucky to share the house with them that we did, but really, I'll admit, I am just bad at roommates. I expect too much out of people. I nag people. I like things a certain way. I don't like people to touch my stuff. I'm kind of a nightmare to live with. Gabe's so nice and easygoing that he's probably the best fit to be my roommate. But really, living with 6 other people was pretty rough. And it wouldn't matter who it is. Honestly, it would not. It's just, it was so tough for me to live with that many people. I mean, I've lived with less too, and I'm still just a terrible roommate. I'll be honest. This is such an interesting process. I agree. When Gabe and I were going to bed at 4 a.m. and stuff, I know it's not as extreme as yours is, but I noticed a difference. And it was really weird. We kept it up for a year, but I did notice that, oh my god, I slept so much better when it was during kind of normal sleep hours. My internal clock really did not like going to bed really, really late. There's a sweet spot for me working at night. I usually get kind of lit around 6 to 8 creative-wise, and then I can just keep going, but it takes all day for me to get there. So typically what we do is we do our chores and our errands basically right when we wake up. We wake up, we go to the gym, We run our errands, go to the grocery store. It's also a great time to go to the grocery store during the weekdays. And then at night, we make dinner and then we get to work. And that's where it used to be a problem, where we'd go to bed at like 4 a.m. because we just keep working. But now we get up earlier and we still start the same schedule, we just do it earlier. Oh no, Sniggle. Yay! It's true, exercise will help you sleep. So if you have insomnia, maybe you're not getting enough exercise. Maybe you should get some more. It's one of those things. Proud of you, Sniggle. How many times a week do you have that sword thing? Sword class. Alright. I'm gonna do, I think, like a yellow for the grass. I think. Except I don't really have one. Oh, does he have a Naples? Shit, I might have to wait till he gets back. It looks cool like this, but at the same time, I don't know how she does this. Some of the colors are really off and weird. Also, her palette is completely different than mine. So that's probably why hers works a lot better, because they're very, very bright colors. Like they're basically Dave's colors, which are on the other side of this palette. Like, she uses really saturated bright colors. I don't. So maybe that's part of it. I want these to be yellow, but I don't want them to be too yellow. It's raw sienna. I mean, maybe I could just use straight up watercolor, actually. That's a Naples. Maybe a pink sky would be kind of cool. I probably can't use raw watercolor on this, right?
No. It's too watery. It'll run right off.
Do you have your bag of gouache? I want a very specific yellow.
Got maybe 3 or 4 of them. I think I might even have bought a lemon yellow.
Lemon yellow.
Is that what you're looking for?
I don't know. I'll know it when I see it.
Oh, okay. You're trying to be difficult.
No, I just don't know as much as you.
You're trying to be an artist.
Your yellow deep is like dried up.
Is it?
Yeah.
I gotta take that in inventory.
Yeah. I mean, you could maybe use it as watercolor, but it looks a bit sad. Ooh, that's pretty good.
I almost want to run up into a Blick and be like, one of each. But that'd be like a $500 trip.
One of each?
Yeah, one of each. Give me one of each.
Oh, one of everything.
But also at the same time, that would be way too expensive. Sorry, it'd be stupid because we would run out.
So
it would dry out.
Something else I'm noticing. Her color palette's totally different than mine. It's so bright.
Oh.
So my pumpkin here is getting like
Washed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gourd guy looks good.
Yeah.
The pumpkin. So may not work for me. We'll see. I'd like to see you try this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're done with that, I can give you one of these.
No, I'm not doing it.
Alright. So next color we've got, this is yellow ochre. Come on down.
Oh no.
3 times a week is great though. Sniggle, we're so proud of you. That's really cool.
Is he doing his martial arts, sword art stuff?
Yeah. Hey, do you get like grades, kind of like karate does?
You get a like bronze belt, metal belt.
So I'm guessing this yellow, even though this is exactly what I want, is not gonna be that on the other side. You might want to look at that yellow deep and see if you can fix it.
Is it hard to? Is the tube itself hard?
It just looks dry. Like completely dry.
Oh.
Honestly, that's not so bad. I kind of like how soft these are.
It
I'm
does.
digging it.
The frost makes it softer for
I
sure.
know. I kind of dig that. I don't know.
You know, it'd be cool.
What? Putting it on top of another piece?
Button.
Gabe's on a button kick because
Have I told you about my Lord and Savior, the button?
The button. And I mean, we used to talk shit about making buttons for cons and stuff, and I still stand by that.
No, yeah, I agree.
I still stand by that, but it really depends on what you're using it for.
Yeah.
We're trying to put an edge on the button game to make it more affordable, kind of like enamel pins, but not, I don't know. You'll see what we're trying to do when we get it.
You know what I had an idea of?
What did you have an idea of?
It'd be a four, maybe 6 button pack, right?
Yeah?
And each one is like a little, like sci-fi, like a weapon, like a piece of armor, like glasses.
Oh, dude.
And each one is like, you know, equip them all.
No, so did you see the thing I saw then? Where somebody was making enamel pins that were buffs?
That's what I was just thinking of. They're
Yeah,
buffs,
so
yeah.
somebody has done that with enamel pins and they look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have, like they made their own lore too.
Mm.
So it's like, some of them are funny too. Like, Mana of Cats, and it's just, I don't know. Cat magic, I don't know. Like stuff like that that's like super specific.
I was basically thinking of that, but it would be all like sci-fi stuff.
I thought you were done with sci-fi.
Oh, I still like sci-fi.
Do you?
Yeah. I never said I was done with it.
You keep flip-flop.
I never said I was done. I made an entire zine about sci-fi.
That's a long time ago, though.
No, that was in May.
That
April.
was a long time ago.
No, that was not a long time ago.
Gabe, months for us are such a long time ago.
Yeah, but people at ECC haven't even seen that one. Think about that.
No, I know. I tell you that, but you're the one that's like, I don't know, I'm leaning more towards fantasy. You just told me that like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but you said that I'm done with sci-fi.
Well, you even said I'm getting sick of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I supposed to take away from that?
Well, let me know when
Hey,
to
move
stop.
your banner over that way. More. Too much. There you go. Oh, really? That's cool, though. Oh, medals! Medals would be neat. That's cool. I'm glad you guys actually get, like, you know.
Things.
Yeah. But do you get, like, titles? Like Grandmaster and junk? That'd be sick. I think if I were a couple levels up from this, and I knew what I was doing better, I could just knock out some sick cell shading this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real. Like, every time I'm going over a leaf, I'm like, oh man, shadow could be on that side. And then this side could be this. Like, this could look pretty cool. Honestly, what I'd want to do, though, is take a sheet and then go through all our colors and make a swatch sheet so I can see all the different colors.
Alright.
And see how they react. Because then I could actually have... Like, I'm going blind right now. I have no idea what colors are going to look good on this.
Mm.
But if I could make a swatch sheet on the acetate to see how they all react, that could be really cool. I also don't know how far water can go on this. I don't even want to try it, but maybe in the future play with it a little bit more. is risen.
Mhm.
He already ate all his cheese shoes, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I gave him one before he left for New York. Gone. Giant slab of cheese gone. Actually, it seems like a little bit of water is good. Helps keep it smooth.
Mm.
Or too much, which is what I think happened on the pumpkin, is a bad thing.
Well, you did use some water.
Just a smidge.
Mm.
Like, not even that much. Honestly. Oh, I gotcha, Snake. This method, though, is really nice if you want to put emphasis on line work. This is great. Like, I dig it.
Can you dig it?
You chewing something? What are you chewing?
I
Drop it.
I got a gummy bear in my mouth.
Gummy burr.
Gummy bear. Gummy bear. Gummy bear.
Gummy burr. A disclaimer I like to always say during this song, that is not a real storm. It is in the music.
Oh gosh, how I wish.
I don't know. Today was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sniggle, has it been nice and cold where you are lately? Oh, really, Sniggle? That's awesome. Do people record these? So you could have like a recording of it? That'd be awesome. And you could put O Fortuna to it and look like a badass. Yeah, man. That's what it's about. Oh, really? You guys clean your masks? Like between fights? Does somebody come along and Clorox that shit? I'd probably be paranoid about that, honestly. I'm not a germaphobe, but that's a little too close quarters for me. Also, have you gotten any of your friends into it yet? Or is it just you right now? How much does a mask cost? Like $300 or something? I would assume it's something like that. Also, Snickle, I don't think you were here when we talked about it tonight, but tomorrow Gabe will be doing screen tones.
Yeah.
So if you want to see how he does screen tones, tune in. Gabe's channel. The upper right. 4 p.m. CST. Oh, see, now I probably added too much water. Accidentally. So that's the problem with gouache. You add too much water and it's not opaque anymore. Also, I'm being an idiot and I have my water on like total opposite side than my paint. So I'm literally carrying the brush over the painting every time I get water. Worst idea ever. I don't know how many times I've actually like dropped water onto my paintings doing it this way. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. Even smart people can be idiots sometimes. It's alright. Nothing and no one are perfect. Ooh, cool. Why does he like the saber? It's so weird now that I've heard saber more in a paper sense. I don't think the weapon anymore.
Ooh.
That sounded a little harsh.
Yeah.
Have a Ludens.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's small and speedy. Cute. What is a saber, like 2.5 feet? Because a dagger, I think, is under a foot, right? This is actually really nice because it also puts emphasis on like your brush work, making sure you know how to, thin out your brush, make it thicker, all that junk. And I totally missed it as I said all that junk. Hold on. Here's the nice thing about gouache. Erase that shit. And it's gone. Gone. Oh, 36 inches for a saber. That's a little longer than I thought. What did I say, 2.5 feet? So would that be 24 plus 6? Oh, I said 30. Damn, I was close. I can't tell you how many times my eyes blur when I'm doing something like delicate. My eyes just blur. Also, I apparently didn't continue that, so on the other side I'm gonna fix it. Well, Sniggle, I'm so glad you found something that's so cool and you like so much. Because honestly, I don't know why we didn't think of this before. You're so obsessed with like medieval armor and all the like tech medieval stuff. Why didn't I think of this before? It seems so obvious. Oh, I see. Yeah, because saber, I'm even thinking like something that is curved. I didn't know they couldn't be curved, so that's interesting. This is also a really good reminder to flip your drawings before you actually get to this stage. Like my pumpkin, very wonky. Like it's really offset. Where what I should have done is flip the original in the pencil stage before I even inked it and fixed that and then gotten to this point. So, I mean, you're still not even going to really notice because this isn't the original orientation of the piece, but still, it's one of those things that maybe you don't notice when you're doing it, but someone else might have a different perspective, literally. So, making sure that stuff is all hunky-dory is always a good idea. And that's the last line. So we'll wait for this to dry and then flip it over. But yeah, it seems like certain colors are a lot more consistent than others. So this is really interesting. This has been a great experience.
What do you mean consistent?
Like, the pumpkin color is super, like, wonky. But this grass and the gourd color are super nice. So, I don't even know, man. I don't know if that's the paint's fault or what, but yeah. I actually kind of like what this is doing at the bottom now that I kind of roughed it up. I might leave that. So I'm gonna wait for it to dry, and then on the other side, oh, this water's so dirty. I'm gonna put in highlights and stuff. I'm gonna shade on the other side. I asked how much the helmets are. I was thinking it was like $300. Oh, I should probably do the sky. I was thinking of this pink for the sky, Gabe. What do you think? It's the Potter's pink.
Huh?
Like,
as long as it's light, I guess.
well, it's like a.
Let me see.
It's
Let me see
kinda-
the tube.
It's kind of in the same palette. I feel like just more pink, more red.
This might be the same tone as the pumpkin.
I doubt it. This is the pumpkin. I think it's the gold ochre. Like the pumpkin is this. Like it's really.
It might be the same tone.
No way, man.
Try it. I mean, or do it on the pan, I guess. But shit.
Or mix it to white. With white.
Yeah. Either with white or like a Naples yellow light.
I don't think I should go any more yellow. I need something different. Oh, you're right, that is dark. Really? Jackets and swords are? I guess that makes sense. I hadn't even thought of that, honestly. Oh, look at my hairy, moly arm. God, all my gouache is like really separated. Guess that means I don't use it enough. Having it be a little bit purpley would be good for the, right? For the palette.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, come look at this real quick, would you?
Yeah.
You're better at color than I am by a million. This would work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought. Should I tint it more yellow or more red?
No, I think it's good where it's at now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I don't have a bad sense of color.
So I guess I just hope you have enough of it.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Trying to balance it first.
Bitch.
The hardest parts, I think, will be getting around the little detail areas. Well, this is what I'm saying. I think if I just go over a little bit the parts I've already done, it might look okay. Like, because they won't blend, I don't think. Since it's so opaque and it's already dry. Right?
They shouldn't. They might. It might peel up a little, but
Peel up.
it might like scratch it off a bit, but it should be not that bad.
I was just sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
At least it looks like it. The other thing you can do is actually put in another background behind it. Like, so for the rest of it, I'll probably only do a little vignette piece of this, and then maybe put my normal sketchbook paper behind it, so that it still fills the space, you know? And I am still so stubborn about changing my brush. I have to get better about that.
What do you mean change it?
Switching to a different size.
Oh.
Like, I get cocky and I'm like, yeah, I can make this brush go that small. And then sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can, other times I can't. This must look like a mess to anybody coming in. What the hell is this bitch doing? That's not painting. What are you doing? Hey, Nightshade. I'm painting. So I'm trying a technique a friend of mine uses and seeing how it goes. How you doing, man? $50, wow. I was gonna say, maybe that's the way to do it, find secondhand stuff. I mean, that's why Play It Again Sports existed. That's where my dad was trying to get a lot of my softball and hockey equipment. Still ends up being really expensive though, especially hockey equipment. That ultimately was the reason I didn't go into hockey. Because Dad's like, $500? Nope, softball. Okay, Dad.
Hey, kitchen.
Backwards painting, yeah, you got it, basically. Here, I'll show you guys what it looks like normally. So this is the front. Trying a new technique. And actually this purple is really doing it for me. I don't know. I'm impressed. I didn't think it would turn out this good, I'll be honest. Never done this before. I figured I'd what's the word I'm looking for? Spruce up the stream by having a dual stream. I asked Gabe if he'd be okay with that. He said yeah. He's being a real sport about it. And also to do something I haven't done before. You guys know I'm all about that. So, if you're gonna fail, do it while it's recorded. That's what I say. It's the best way to fail. Alright, let's see. The only problem is the squash dries really quick in the pan. Like, real quick.
So you gotta,
Keep it wet?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That or, finding where the Stay Wet palette was.
Oh, no. I'm scared of that thing.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I'm worried about it. Ever since he mentioned mold, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's like,
I know it would take months, but, like, you know me. You know me. It freaks me out. I actually like these brush strokes around the edge. That's neat. How you doing, kitchen? Vellum, no. Acetate, close. Acetate is a lot more frosted than vellum, and it's a lot more waxy. It's interesting. I've never used it before. This is my first time, like even really touching it. It's my first time, so it's really interesting. It does kind of have that smoothness of vellum, but it's thicker. And apparently you can use a lot more stuff on it. Vellum is mainly for markers. But like this acetate, I don't know what this is actually for. I have no idea. I'll be completely honest.
Right.
Like, I don't know who would use this and for what. Like, I would have to look this up. Oh, thanks, Nightshade. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, so I'm going to have technically 2 originals of this then, which is pretty cool, because I've got this other one, which will probably be either just regular marker and ink, but I took this and I traced it with the vellum, which is the ideal way to do it. If you're gonna, sorry, acetate. I didn't mean vellum. It's on the mind now. But if you're gonna use the acetate, you want to make sure you're not going to erase anything, because it doesn't seem to bode well with erasing as much. And plus, you know, once you put down pencil lines, really, I mean, there's pressure associated with it, this doesn't seem like a very pressure, like happy type of thing, so you want to make sure the lines you're putting on it are pretty final. And you can use ink on it, but I really want to not ink anymore. Like after this Inktober, I think for the most part, I'm gonna start phasing out ink. I really just like using dark colored pencils for my inks because they're just softer and they really lend themselves to my style too. So I think knowing yourself and the materials you use is a big part of the art journey. You know, making sure that what you're using is actually fitting your content too. Because inks are almost just too bold. I need more soft stuff because a lot of my stuff is really, dare I say, cutesy? I don't know. I don't want to say it's cutesy, but really it is.
But it is soft.
Yeah, it's soft. Thank you. Soft. I'll go with that. And I think once I get better at this, I can do more blending. Though I don't want to go crazy because I really do like the simplicity here. But let's say in this piece, if I did a gradation for the sky, you know, and had the top be darker than the bottom, that sort of thing. If I knew what I was doing more and I was more used to it. But yeah, I don't know, I dig it. This is cool. Is that you or me?
I think it was me.
Busy with the day job. Cool. You think you're gonna play Dark Souls tonight?
I don't know, maybe.
Gabe's been playing Dark Souls and streaming it sometimes. It's been pretty entertaining, I'll say. For those of you who were there for his Skyrim streams, kind of similar. More swearing, though. And a repeat for those coming in. Tomorrow Gabe will be doing screen tones on his channel.
See.
So if you're interested in how comic artists use screen tones in comics, stop by Gabe's channel.
Or Japanese manga.
Mangaka.
I think that's a person.
No, mangaka is like a thing.
I thought mangaka was the person.
No, it's actually like a magazine.
Oh.
But I think that's the actual name for manga. Like the full thing. Did we move yet? No. We actually move at the end of November, the day after our anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be cute and romantic, yeah? It'll be fun.
It's gonna be on Black Friday, y'all. Everyone's gonna be gone.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about doing the Black Friday sale, but I don't know. That means I gotta figure out actual, like, percentages. And make sure I could still make money off something. But I don't know. Last year's Black Friday was crazy. Someone bought a Pet and Armor commission and still hasn't gotten me the info. They just wanted to make sure they got it for cheap, and they still haven't gotten me the info.
When was this? For which one?
You know who it is. I always see him at ASIN.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Right on.
Right on.
It's sad, though, because he wants it, but his mom won't get the info.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude. I was like, so close to telling him, hey, tell your mom she's got a month or I'm going to cancel it. Like, I'm getting to that point because she keeps saying, oh, yeah, I'll get it to you. Like, she's totally Midwest. So she keeps saying, oh, yeah, I'll totally get it to you. I'm so sorry. Blah, blah. She's adorable and very sweet, but very scatterbrained. Okay, I might have to go over some parts of this because it's got a little rough. I bet you could, Snig. Yeah, I have a book called Mangaka, and it's honestly just a book of different, like, manga illustrations. So, and I had heard somewhere that that's just the full word and people say manga for short. But maybe I'm wrong. I am not the authority.
Authority.
And nor do I pretend to be. I actually don't like how violent this is, so I'm gonna tone this down a bit. This has so many possibilities, though, to do some cool effects with layering.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking maybe acrylic might be a better option. Because then you could layer without worrying about the reconstitution.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think would be a bigger draw. Did you, Snig? It was blue, right? And had like a guy with a blue hoodie and black hair on the front? I think I still have the book. I think it's over there.
Hey, remember that time that we went to Half Price Books?
Yeah.
We totally killed it.
Are we supposed to, do you want to talk about that? Is that what you're getting at?
I don't know if you wanted to show off the books that you got.
Oh, yeah, I do. Oh my god. Do you want to grab them? I found Hello Fortune, you guys. Yeah, when I was packing, I unpacked a part. So if anybody has a question for Hello Fortune, be sure to ask. It's on top of my other ones. On that bookcase. Sitting on top of other ones.
Oh, yeah.
This guy. This fucking guy. Get this out of here. Get that out of here. Yeah, I'll get to this in a minute. I want to flip this over once it's dry. Am I the next sword messiah? Asked Sniggle. I don't know what that means.
Sure.
I have no idea what
Absolutely.
that means. I love it. I mean, I think she's in favor of it. I think that's what that means.
Alright, Ash, pay attention.
What?
Panel 1.
Panel 1. Okay, wait. He's drilling into a bucket? Then they box it up? Ew!
Yeah,
Yes!
It
That's perfect. Is it gonna say ghoul drool on, like, the box?
I don't know what to... I wanted to make it, like, a little more...
Obscure? Like,
a
what's
little
it
more
for?
clever. You know, like...
Than ghoul drool?
Yeah, like gruel. Like G-H...
Oh, ghoul gruel. I like ghoul gruel. That's cute.
Or it's just gruel with a G-H-R.
So I think it's G-O-U-H-L for ghoul. And then gruel, I think, is G-R-O-U-L. Or O-O-L. Look it up.
Or is it U-L-E?
We have the power of the internet at our disposal.
I think
Literally wherever we are. I don't know.
Gruel, what does gruel mean? No, it's not gruel.
Did you do G-R-O-O-L?
No, I did.
Do the G-R-O-O-L.
A thin liquid food of oatmeal or other meal.
Kitchen, I'm gonna say yes, because you should always make cookies. But, well, she's not sure. Maybe that means I can say yes? I'm kind of an authority. 2 out of 3. Sorry. Okay, third one. Peace out. Okay, she's mad. The universe is mad at me, so.
I think I'm gonna call it ghoul gruel.
That's what I said. What do you think I said? How do you think we got to Gruel?
No, I know, but I'm saying
I said
I'm gonna go
Gruel.
with that. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go.
And I
with
think Mage said it right. Gruel.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go with that.
It's recorded, so I mean we could rewind it.
No, I'm saying I'm going with what you were saying.
Don't use the brush pen. Use like a 005 or else it's gonna
Wait.
be. You want it legible, damn
I
it!
know what I'm doing.
Like hell. Okay. This feels dry. Ready? I made the pumpkin too dark. Okay. Ah, that's cute. It looks so graphical. It's crazy. Okay. Now, next part. Let me get a... Oh my god, everything's horrible. I can't find anything. Alright, let's get this. He's Dorbs. Well, he's a little bit happier than his counterpart here. Which, I really miss the texture in this one now, but I think I'll add some in. Thanks, guys. Are we sleepy? I don't know. Am I sleepy?
I don't think so.
I think we're just not caffeinated. We didn't get coffee today.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of been like all day. So I think now to actually like render this a little bit, I have to do it on this side, which is kind of interesting. That's not so bad. This is such an interesting process.
Do we have something from Norgest?
From her?
Yeah.
What do you mean from her?
Like
Like an original?
Yeah.
No. Do you want one?
I'm asking.
For which one? The one from today? Of the chick that's kind of like this?
She's like a witch.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do it. I wanted that one. You guys, feel free to ask artists for their Inktober's, like, in the comments. I've actually gotten a lot of originals that way, because they don't even usually think about selling them until people show interest, and they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Here, hold on. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Oh no, Coda. You were using that vellum-like stuff, and Gibbs can be using screen tone soon. This week is taking me back to high school. Really? You used acetate in high school?
I feel like some people did use it, like, just randomly.
So kitchen, yeah. So what I did is I took the original here, I put it down, I put the acetate over it, and I traced it with a Prismacolor Premier, which is softer lead than a Col-Erase. Make sure you're using the Premiers, as they give a really nice, smooth, consistent line there, which is really nice. And I wanted to make sure it was a colored pencil and a brown, because I didn't want it to be black, because I wanted it to be nicer, softer than the other ones. So I actually had gone out to Hobby Lobby and bought a whole bunch of browns, because I'm a nut. I bought all these. It's a lot of brown. They're all different. I read them off earlier. Actually, I also made... Hey, can you get this away from me so I don't hurt everything? So I'm gonna sell both of these. This one here and this one here. And I'll probably tone that one with some markers at some point. But these are all these. These are all these. So I was gonna actually try to match up some, but I don't know, man. I'm seriously just digging how just plain this is. I love it. Oh, the sienna brown though. That's pretty light. I might have to bring up the color of this pumpkin using a pencil, but I think I can render a little bit of this out. It's just the premieres are so soft, they, like, you can't even see the graininess. I love that so much. So I think once I get better at this, and once I can figure out how to do gradients on the other side, this could be a lot more interesting. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. This is my first time doing this, so I've been wanting to try it probably since last year. I think I bought this Duralar last year, and I have not gotten to touch it till now.
Yeah, like Bonhouse, I think.
Yeah, and I really just have to make time for it. And honestly, I have a million other things I should be working on, but with the fact I've been sick lately and all this stuff, it's like, you know what? Let's do some happy junk. So eat some bad food, do some happy junk, whatever. Right? Keep your spirits up. That sort of crap. So we'll shade him a little bit. I'm almost wondering if I can use pastels on this. I know that's a long shot, but I'm really wondering. I can't take credit for this though. A friend of mine uses this technique, and I learned it from her. If you want to see her stuff, she's basically perfected it for her color palette. I don't suppose you want to throw in her, because look at my keyboard. It's vertical. I can't type this. Gabe will throw in her Instagram. She has beautiful work. She's kind of going down the road of too much of the same thing, and she kind of should throw up her comfort zone a bit. But overall, you guys will probably really like her work. She's great. But she taught me about her process after I grilled her for a long time on it. But the whole point of like figuring out how someone else does something too is, you know, to see if there's anything you can use for your stuff. Ideally, you don't want to copy what they're doing 100%, because, I mean, obviously they thought of it, and, I mean, if you do copy something, make sure you're at least giving them credit. So, I give her credit. This is her process, and I think she learned it from someone, but I can't go that far with it, with knowing where she got it. But, for what I know, this is how she does it. She does her lines. She usually uses a way different color palette than me. Her colors are a lot more vibrant, which that's not really how I roll. I like subtle colors. So I adjusted it for that. And then I also use a brown colored pencil where she uses a black one. So her stuff's a lot more striking, I'll say. Mine's a lot more soft. I think if Gabe did this, it would end up looking like her stuff. I think his palette is closer to hers. God, this is just so smooth, though. It almost looks digital. It's crazy. Thank you, Kitchen. Yeah, she's got really pretty stuff. She does a lot of dead animals. She's super into that. Like a lot of the girls we were with at the thing we went to where we met her, we're collecting just dead animal stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, you guys probably can't really bring that back. Because we're in England, and there's a flora and fauna rule. They got through with a couple things that had been, like, bleach clean, I think. But the ones that weren't, I don't know. I don't know how that ended up. I think she actually, on her stuff, uses paint again on the other side to actually highlight and things, which I might do for this pumpkin, because the pumpkin is a bit rough. I actually don't know what color I'd use to lighten that up, though. don't think I have anything.
Mm.
Are you kitchen? That's great. Oh, thanks, Pocknock. Nose is good. My throat's still a little rough. That's pretty cool, Sniggle. It sounds like it. 1-inch hot action. A button art show. That's awesome.
Cool.
I love that it's called 1-inch hot action. That's
really
super
good.
buzzy. I like it. That's great. This pumpkin though. I wonder if I can use pastel on this, because if I can use pastel on this, that's gonna be my touch. Because I really feel like pastels are my thing, like one of my things that I can call like my own. Like when I say what I use for a majority of my stuff, it's usually marker and pastel. But if I can put it into the, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just try it. Because I want to see. Because this acetate is so weird. It's so soft, but still so grippy. I can't even explain it. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, I don't want to put that in there. Do you want a piece of this to play with?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, yeah. I've got too many things going on here. But both sides are the same, too.
Okay.
I knew you were going to probably ask about that. Both sides are matte finish. Okay, so.
I might actually cut it down.
Pastel. Let's try the pastel. Maybe? Oh no, it just rubs like right off. Yeah, it's gotta be paint. It's worth a shot. Problem is finding the right color to go over this. I don't even know. Unless marker can. But then it's just gonna multiply. That won't work. That won't work at all. Do you have a really bright colored pencil?
You don't have any colored pencils?
None? Do you have a bright orange gouache?
It's in there.
Is it?
I think it's like marigold or some shit. I mean, it's very vibrant.
Yeah, but I can always tone that down. Flesh tint. That's so racist. So racist. Okay, marigold yellow.
Yeah.
Is that as orange as you got?
That's the orangest too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn orange.
Is that the one that's in the pan?
It might be.
This one?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Perfect.
How does this erase?
I wouldn't recommend it,
Oh, I see.
but because it probably leaves the indents.
Yeah.
I think I was telling them that earlier. Like, that's why you trace. Oh, and of course the water's gone. That's right. Well, I've got this little one I can use, I guess. Oh, that's awesome, Kitchen. That is. That's a really fun idea.
Oh, that's great.
You lived in Seattle, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
That seems like such a Seattle thing, but I love that. Like, Seattle's so good about that crap. I love it. Okay, this is, just so you guys know, this is the orange that was the pumpkin. And this is the one I'm probably gonna try to use here. It's actually a lot more vibrant than even it looked on the screen there. So the problem is making it, oh, this is gonna be tough. Making it smooth enough to where it doesn't stick out too much. This could backfire like 100,000,000%. So enjoy how it looks now. Oh, you're in Canada.
Oh, Vancouver probably.
Yeah, duh, Ashley. Okay, see, that's a little bit too close to the gourd's color. So I'm gonna actually mix it with a little bit of the actual pumpkin I used. That seems a bit better. Hey, There we go. So yeah, here's the problem. It is not smooth.
What is not smooth? Oh,
Gouache.
the gouache?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You can see the brush strokes.
Oh.
Which maybe I can dab that. Yes, it's this song. I love this song. Every time. Sorry, I love this damn song. If I had to pick another like intro theme, I think it'd be this one. I do like my metal theme though. This one's just so damn cute. I can't even handle it. I can't handle it. It's just so happy. I don't know. So what's interesting is because I'm so used to doing the other side already, with these lines I'm like super ballsy right now. It's really weird. Like you just get done doing the back of this and you're like, yeah, forget whatever. But really these are the real lines. I should probably be careful, but already I'm like, just do it, just go, whatever, man. How do you feel about it, Gabe?
I like how smooth it is.
Isn't that weird?
Mm.
Oh, I can rub it. Yo! Okay. This is kind of what, you know, in a video game when you're trying things and stuff starts working?
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah. Did you already try marker on it?
No. But I would assume you're gonna get the multiply effect.
The bleed, maybe?
I don't think it'll bleed, but I think you're gonna get a multiply effect. Because it said you can use ink on it. So if you can use ink, you can use marker, but I think you're gonna run into, you know, you put down a flat, and if you want to put down another on the back, it's gonna be darker.
I think it might actually also be very see-through.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So whatever you do, you might end up like planning a background for it. Honestly, this might be cool with the screen tone.
Yeah.
Eventually. Maybe not for right now, but at least I get some neat texture out of this.
Actually, markers aren't that, like, transparent.
Really?
Like, they're not...
Not as bad as vellum?
Yeah, well, you gotta have, like, the right colors. Like, they've gotta be really dark for it to work.
Oh, I suppose. This is really interesting. And I wonder if I can water it down. No, see, if you use any water on this, it cools immediately. Like, it's a good way to erase things, but to actually use it. But you can, like, pull the paint, which is kind of cool. And you can smear it, and it looks kind of like pastels a little bit. That softness, which that's cool. I gotta just make sure I don't rub paint with other paint here.
One downside is it just eats away at the, if you put down color, it eats away at the whatever color you already had.
Oh yeah, that's how it is kind of with the paint.
Yeah.
Unless it's like dry. That's why I was like saying.
Well, no, even with a dried marker, it just eats away at the previous color.
Oh.
So, no go.
That's why paint, though, I think is the way.
Yeah.
And this is on my usual like tinted paper, so I think if I put this in a frame, I would probably put the tinted paper behind it. Add my own touch, you know. And honestly, dabbing the paint with my finger is adding some pretty cool effects. Sorry guys, I haven't looked at the chat for a little bit. Kind of in the zone. It's been a long time since I've been able to do this.
Coda's gonna bounce.
Okay, bye Coda. Thanks for coming. Hey DHC.
Yeah, DHC.
Yeah, you gotta try this with the gouache though. It's awesome. Like once you get the hang of it, like this pumpkin looks a million times better, bro. Like, look at this. Yeah. It's like you get a second shot on the front if you screw up on the back.
Oh. Ooh. Right. That doesn't work.
And it's actually helping me embrace brush strokes. If anybody wants this, by the way, I'm selling it. Remember, art is for me when I'm making it. It's for you when I'm done. I like this song too. Damn. Which I guess is kind of like baking. If you think about it, right, Kitchen? I actually dig this. This looks alright. How you doing, DHC? Good? Using your paint markers now? I have a test sheet if you wanted to use that, but I guess I thought you were just gonna go for it. There is a learning curve to the gouache though, but once you get it, I think you'll get it. I assume sometimes, Kitchen, you'll make something that's not even for you, like, afterwards, but you just like making it, yeah? I don't want to... See, now I need to actually get a Prismacolor soft set. Damn, because I don't want to use white on everything.
We totally have one, so ton.
For the premieres, though?
Yeah. There's a whole
But
box
it's
of them.
old.
Mm.
If it was mine, it is old.
Yeah.
And I deserve new ones, damn it. I deserve it. I earned it. I'm saying it. I'm going there.
Well, I guess it's time to use the paint.
You want some of mine?
Uh-huh.
Or here's your pan back. I'm done.
Yeah, if you're done.
All the time, right? Yeah. Same thing. We got a lot in common. Have you been streaming much of your baking lately? You started doing that, right? I'm not forgetting that or remembering that wrong. Remember, don't really use water.
Oh. All right on.
Right on.
You're using brushes?
So I used, for my whole thing, I used this brush.
Flat brush?
No,
Or no?
I use that.
Oh,
Because that's what I've seen Nikki use, because then it...
It's dirty!
I know. But I used it for the whole thing, so...
I'll try that.
If you can't use that,
No.
you ain't no artist. I'm just kidding. No, Kitchen! Come on, we want to see you bake. What are you waiting for? Guys, I super dig this. I want to do it again already. It's like I know where I made mistakes, and I already want to do it again. I really needed this, by the way. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I feel like Gabe never gets to see me get excited anymore. think the only time he sees me get excited is when I see a certain type of food. But otherwise, I don't get to experiment much anymore. My time is not really my own. I get so many commissions. Double-edged sword, really. It's a blessing and a curse. You drew me as a lizard girl? Are you talking about that one time I was driving? You didn't mean to, though, right? That was an accident. So don't worry about it. You're good. Don't worry, DHC. I think it was cool. You did a good job. So are you on the back side now of it?
Yeah.
Did you do the lines really dark on the front?
No.
Okay.
I used the red colors.
I wonder how that's gonna go. So I think part of it is that it has to be dark enough.
No.
Because it might get that multiply effect in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Uncanny copy. Exactly. Oh, you're not tech savvy. Oh. But Kitchen, if you got a camera, you're good to go. You don't need any of the other stuff, honestly. And I mean, we can help you too. If you run into any problems, feel free to ask. We'll help. I actually really enjoy too that the white of the colored pencil goes on so nicely on the front. So if I wanted to, I could easily use like anything to back the color behind it.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
And to have the white be the outline.
Oh, I understand.
I think this is cool. This is alright. Alright, Kitchen, enjoy making your cookies, homie.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Oh my god, it's almost midnight. Hopefully, yeah. Take care. Enjoy the cookies. Or at least the making of. Sniggle, you still here? What are you up to? DHT asks, how you been, Gabe?
I've been good.
Gabe and I just got over being sick, so you can always thank the conventions for that. Man, I take precautions, and I still get sick. And boy, do I take precautions.
Sniggle, you fall asleep.
Oh no!
Crazy.
Sniggle, go to bed.
Bad.
You know better. Go to bed. Every time you tell us that, we picture you like at your desk, just face down on your keyboard. Yeah, you go sleep. You go sleep. You'll catch us tomorrow, right? Maybe? I forget. Either way, it'll be recorded so you can see it, alright? Don't risk your health, homie.
So if you go over the same spot, does it pick it up?
Not if you haven't been using water. So, like, here, do you want to look at the back of mine? Like, the back looks super messed up, but when you look at the front, it, like, the frosted and stuff smooths it over real nice, but look at the pumpkin on the back. It looks like a fucking mess. Alright, Sniggle. We'll look forward to it, alright? Let us know. It's such a weird effect, though, man. Like, I would not expect this.
Yeah.
You know? Did you use a coal erase?
I did.
Okay, that's gonna be a problem. Because that waxiness. Here, try it just for fun. I've got a Tuscan Red here,
That's what I was using.
but this is the Premier. This is soft. That's why I didn't use coal erases. That's why I want a whole set of Premier. Look at the difference. It's insane. That's why I waited so long to get the Premiers. Take care, Snake.
Alright.
Like, it's so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even grainy, it's not waxy, you don't have to press hard. So maybe go over your lines
Yeah.
with that one.
I mean, I probably won't go over them with this. I'll probably go over them with something else, maybe. I don't know.
With this?
Huh? I don't know if I'll go over it with that, but
Why?
well, I don't know. I might go over it with a different color. We'll see.
What color?
I don't know yet.
Because, I mean, right now, these are all we have.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Tuscan Red is more what you usually use.
Crap.
Oh, actually, I could use that too. Yeah, let's try them. Ooh. That makes that pumpkin pop. Hell yeah. Man, that's nice. And this color, what is this again? This is light umber. Oh yeah, okay. Wait. This little leaf tail. Oh man, I lucked out with this shit. Well, I would call this a successful first attempt. I am very pleased. This was pretty cool.
Yeah, get some sleep, Raisin.
Oh, no problem, man. 6 a.m. Thanks for spending so much time with us.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Seriously, thanks for sticking around. Hope to see you around. Our usual streams are a lot earlier than this. So tomorrow and the next day, we'll be on technically 5 hours earlier than we started tonight. So 4 p.m. CST the next 2 days, which are... God, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8 hours backwards from now. So if you want to make tomorrow's on Gabe's stream or Thursdays on mine, 8 hours ago tomorrow. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, we hope to see you around, Temp. Seriously. Thanks for joining. Do a little thing about this real quick. Awesome. Hope to see you. Thanks for joining. This is hard to time.
What is?
The flip. Oh my god. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds. Try and do this for Instagram. Yes, I have to do it now. I love it. I actually had so much fun on this. Oh my god, so much fun. Okay. Hesitate. Why did it... Okay. How are you liking it, Gabe? You want to talk through it?
It's good. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I might have easier time with it in terms of colors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can you flip it over real quick so you can see?
Yeah. It's still wet, but...
Well, yeah, don't put it flat, but... I think they'll look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing on brush strokes?
It's fine. I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Oh.
Because I know, like you said, like once you go to the front, then you can fix that shit.
Remember, credit where it's due. Never forget. Super important. I'm so happy you can move around, like pictures and videos now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. If I don't do this now, it won't work. Hey, Ebony. So we were experimenting with some new stuff tonight. We did gouache on acetate. Gabe also did his Drawtober beforehand, but I did this, and I traced this onto this with a colored pencil, and then I painted the backside with gouache, very thick and opaque, and then on the other side it ends up not originally looking like this, but I added a whole bunch of rendering, but I like it. It's a cool process, man. I am enjoying this. I think the key is to get those lines really thick right away. A couple I have to go back over, but I enjoyed this a lot. It's my first time doing this, and I had a shit ton of fun. And it tells me I don't get enough time to do this kind of crap, so I need more time to just play. I don't get enough time to play. I used to figure out so much more crap when I could just experiment. And lately I've worked too much. Kind of tragic, really.
So what did you end up using?
For what?
I don't know.
Do you want to use the Tuscan?
I'm gonna try this Polaris.
Don't use the Kohl Race, dude. Here. Seriously,
It's just it's really
It's not gonna work.
I'm gonna need you to sharpen it.
Okay, hold on, guys. Mute. Can you move it up? Yeah, perfect. It's just, it goes on so much smoother on this paper.
Yeah.
There you go. Move it up and to the left a tad. There you go. Like, you don't have to do it even very hard. I just went over it a few times to thicken it. I also snapped the tip a few times too. Okay, so...
Were you using white also?
White pencil?
Mm-hmm.
Not this time, no. I think next time for things that are a little bit ethereal, I'll use white on the other side. That could be really cool for magic,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Technically, Enigma, so what we did was I traced this on some acetate, and then after that I flipped it over, painted on the back side. So the back is all this sticky paint, right? And then you flip it over and it's all nice and smooth, and it was really flat. And then I took the colored pencil and I went in and I did a little bit of rendering. But turned out pretty cool. I've never done this before, and then I pushed him to do it too. But I dig it. I think it's really fun. We might be stopping soon since I did what I came to do.
Can I use that white?
Yeah.
Or if
Here.
I thought you have a yellow.
I have these. Do you want to look at just these? There is one
No,
lighter.
no, I was looking for like a lighter, like a
Well,
yellow.
there's a light red.
No, I mean like a yellow.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any of that now.
Because I actually was washing away some of the gouache.
I gotta
the
be
yellow?
honest, it is not my idea, Enigma. I like to give credit where it's due, so I'll put the link in for my friend here who she actually inspired it and is the one who kind of taught me her process, and then I made adjustments in certain areas to accommodate my style. So definitely check her out. She uses a lot more vibrant colors, kind of like Gabe is right now, where I use a lot of subdued tones. So, you know, kind of whatever you're into, I guess. If you like more subdued things versus, you know, more like techno colors and stuff. But I think, like, the cool thing about this is if you took a darker backdrop, ugh, that's ugly. God, I wish I had a black piece of paper somewhere. Or like even just something that's colored.
I was about to put it on my cell phone.
Like you can see how putting it on something that's like
Like
colored
that?
differently would change it, huh?
Like I put it on my cell phone.
Yeah, so what you put on the backing sometimes will change. Like here, I've got this really dark craft paper, so it can kind of stick out a little bit more on the backdrop. But it's kind of neat. I can't wait to experiment more with it. I think there's a lot you can do. Oh yeah, okay, if you've never touched gouache though, don't do this first.
Yeah.
This is not for a beginner gouache person. Gabe is like the gouache master here. If you want any gouache tips, talk to him. Because really, like I said, you gotta know how to handle gouache to even do this. What would you say is a good beginner gouache thing?
In terms of what?
I mean, like, if you're just starting gouache, what would you do?
I mean, I get like a few colors or get like a starter set, but don't try to color with it the way that you would with acrylic. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's gonna mix whether you want it to or not. That's the biggest problem with it.
So gouache is technically like if you took acrylic and watercolor and they had a baby.
Yeah.
Like, you can use it to where it's opaque, but you can also use it like watercolor. So you have to get used to the fact you can reconstitute the opaque areas, which if you're not used to it, that can be really frustrating. So it's good to practice with it first to make sure you get the hang of it, like any medium, obviously. But it's better if you can actually mix colors too. That's a big one.
Yeah, if you know how to mix colors, and that's
Yeah.
a big.
But gouache is not, like, I'd say acrylic's easier than gouache.
Yeah.
Gouache is a little bit harder, and then watercolor, maybe oils actually between watercolor and gouache.
Oil's actually really easy. It's just it takes a while to dry.
So ebony, yeah, you can't really layer it if you do it on the back. If you're smart, and as I was doing this, and you can see here which is what where. So, like, I'd get to a leaf, right, and I'd be like, I could cell shade this. So technically, you can cell shade it if you do this method, but you could also do a gradient if you're really good, which this was my first attempt, but as I was doing it, I was like, oh man, next time I know how to do this and this and this. This time I wanted to keep it simple and make sure I was just doing the bare minimum, so I got the hang of it. But next time, you can definitely see where you can improve on certain areas. Because on this side, I ended up actually doing this highlight on the pumpkin, so you can see where it's shiny there. That's actually on this side, because the pumpkin was super drab. It looked like that before, and I was like, that doesn't look like a pumpkin. So I made sure to go back over it. But yeah, this is advanced, I'll say. Yeah, acrylic. So I'm guessing you used water with acrylic too. You might want to know that you're not supposed to usually use water with acrylic. You're actually supposed to mix acrylic with this pigmentless medium called medium. It's just like, it looks white, but it's just pigmentless. And to water down your acrylic, you're actually supposed to use that. Because if you use water, because of how acrylic is made up, it's going to actually crack it and make it really thin. It basically takes the chemical compounds and literally waters them down, so they're like holding on to each other like with thin, strings, basically. So that's why it cracks. The pigmentless medium is what fills that in, so it's actually smooth and strong. So yeah, you're not ever usually supposed to use the water. But with gouache, like I said, you can use it where it's very opaque like this. But like right now, if I took water and I went on this, it would start dissolving. Okay? So that's where it can get tough. And usually you want to use it like watered down and then add the pigment on top as you layer. So that's where gouache can get frustrating if you don't know how to layer appropriately with letting it dry, put on more on top of that. If you don't know how to do that, you're going to end up reconstituting a color and accidentally like smearing it and smudging it, and it takes a while.
I can actually show you right now.
Yeah, Gabe's good at this. You want to show your mini paintings first to show that?
Oh, in a minute.
Like Gabe does a bunch of pocket paintings. He calls them. They're about this big.
I don't know if I actually have any that have gouache on them, but so this is gouache on there right now, and
Oh, don't ruin that.
huh? No, I'm not.
No.
I'm actually gonna add some yellow to the top of it. So right now, like if you look at that part, right, that's like this part right here, right, and you can see a little bit of hint of yellow coming out, like right here and up here. So I'm gonna go into that spot.
So he's technically erasing some blue to add the yellow.
Yeah, and because I've got yellow pigment on there, it's gonna start mixing in with it.
So then when I flip it over, it's sort of got that yellow on there. Though
That's not really how you use it normally, though. Like
What?
this is because this is so different.
Oh yeah, no.
That's why I didn't want you to show on this.
No,
like if you could show it on paper,
Yeah.
that'd be better. Because like I said, this is an advanced thing. It's
Yeah.
not gonna help.
But
I think
so
it's just called medium.
it
like
literally,
acrylic
if you
medium.
if you just look up acrylic medium, Liquitex makes it. I mean, other companies make it too, I'm imagining, but.
So really quick, Enigma, I'll show you. I'll cut off a piece of this other one here. I'll show you the whole process of what we've done. So this is acetate. Duralar makes some, but it's called acetate. It's not like vellum. It's more waxy, actually. So let's say here. I'll show you this process, but like I said, don't start with this. If you're gonna start gouache, make sure you've got like watercolor paper. And start with that, then move up to this. But let me go find something to trace of mine. It's better with this method that you trace something, because if you don't, there's no real promise that you can like erase it on this stuff. It doesn't erase well. Kind of want to do this house, but I don't think I will. Okay, hold on. I'll just do a cattail. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna draw it on here first, just so I have an idea. I'll make it super simple. Okay, so here we got a cattail. Alright, so this is just with a regular Prismacolor Premier colored pencil. Not a coal erase. Make sure it's a Premier because they are softer. Okay? And if you want to shade it here, I guess you could. I don't see a problem with that. But like this is where you're gonna want to do, this is the line work. And it does work with ink. Acetate does take ink. However, for what I do and you know how my palette is and everything, I like to use softer colors and softer mediums. So ink ends up being a little too rough for me. A little too, I don't know, crazy. So I've switched to just doing the whole colored pencil thing. Because it's just as smooth. And honestly, I just love how you can build up the lines. God, that's beautiful. I love that. It just reacts so well on this paper. It's so different from regular paper and colored pencils. Like regular paper and colored pencils, they're kind of, you know, they're rough, right? So, okay, so we've got that, okay? This is gonna be kind of confusing now that I've got that on there, but hold on. Yeah. Prismas on black paper are a thing. So, Enigma, if this is your first time here, I'm typically a marker artist. You can see if you go to my Instagram there, you'll see that I mainly do a lot of pet portraits using marker and pastels. So once you get this far, you flip it over and you work on the back. And I'll just use, let's see, got some green here. Acetate, A-C-E-T-A-T-E. Acetate.
I think there actually might be a side that.
No, I looked it up
Mm.
because it feels different,
Mm.
but I don't think it is. Okay, so take the gouache, and I'm just going straight out of the bottle right now, or the tube, because you don't really want to use, and you don't really want to do it this way either, but I don't know where I put the palette. I think Gabe has it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to use it really with water. There's a very fine balance, and this is, like I said, this is only for doing it this way. For using it normally, yeah, use water, duh. But because you need it so opaque on this paper, you don't want to use water. So you can see already, oh, it's got that oil problem happening. Have you run into that yet?
Only on the other side of this that I've been using. That's what I was asking. But then again, I'm not sure.
No, I think it's the
Here,
oil.
you can use this if you want. No?
It's too late. I don't have any water either, I
Oh.
don't think. Don't worry about it. But the nice thing about this is it's going to tone down this green quite a bit because the acetate is actually frosted. So if I wanted to, I could do more like actual shading and stuff. But what I actually appreciate about this is how it smooths over a lot of colors. So you can get like a nice flat color. And then like, let's use brown. Got a light brown. Real Life Comics, thank you for the raid. Yeah, it really does protect your lines. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good about that. And actually, it feels kind of cool because in a lot of ways you can go over your lines and you're like, eh. So that's cool. But your trade-off is that you don't get to be as like spot on with gradients and stuff and rendering, which I think is the beauty of it, though. It keeps things simple. You could do a lot of gradients and rendering, but you'd have to know exactly what you're doing. Which I think after, doing this a bunch, I could, because tonight was my first time doing this, but I think for the most part, though, really the beauty of using it this way is in the simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, getting kind of a pop look, like Gabe's using it there. Like, I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you use this with screen tone somehow,
Yeah.
that could be really wicked. I love it. Oh,
Wow.
really? Well, thanks, Seems Geeky. I appreciate that. Spread the art love. That's really nice of you guys. So when you've done the back like this, you flip it over, your lines are still intact, but you've still got that, that sort of look. So obviously I didn't have as good of colors as I did on this one, but for a quick demo, that's kind of how the same thing works. So you have to make sure that the colors you're using can kind of speak to the other side. But this actually turned out really ugly. This one's really ugly. I don't like this at all. But this one turned out real good. So it's funny, my second attempt turned out worse than my first. Strange. Anyway. Yeah, Gabe has a totally different set of colors than I do. He uses, like, here, I'll give you guys Gabe's links too. So all my stuff is under Cloverkin. All Gabe's stuff is technically under Galvasaur. So if you look on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Twitch, obviously, Facebook, all these things, I'm under Cloverkin and Gabe's under Galvasaur. So whatever your preferred social medium is, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Enigma, you know what you should do? Gabe's Twitch is in the upper right corner. He does a lot of different, like, do you have any paintings that are nearby?
Yeah, I'll pull them out in a second.
He does painting a lot on his Twitch. So if you ever want to come on and paint with him, so you can ask questions, things like that.
You see that?
Yeah, that's
Added
really
a little
cool.
background.
That is really cool. That'd be cool for like a little shadow box too, with a light in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that'd be sick. I love that. So yeah, if you ever want to paint along, ask him questions about gouache, like what happens when this happens, that happens, what do you do first, blah blah blah. He's really good about that stuff.
I think I got him here.
Thank you for the follow, comics. I appreciate it.
This is gonna get weird for a second.
It's okay, we're prepared. Let's get weird. So we actually do a lot of art talk, art advice, art motivations talks on here a lot. We have our own Discord too for anybody who wants kind of a community. Definitely, Enigma, we'd love to have you. Let's get weird. Great Nightshade. But so that's one of Gabe's paintings. So he usually has these all lined up like 3 to 4 at a time, and he's working on 4 simultaneously. So when one's drying, he can work on another one, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of fun to be on his Twitch and see him working on 4 paintings at once. Wow. I think that's neat. I always think that's neat. But he sells these at conventions too. So you want to move him to move him to the left.
Huh?
To the left.
Oh.
Just the whole paper. Just move the paper.
I got cleaned out at New York. I think that's about it.
Yeah,
That's
New
it.
York Comic Con wrecked us for our
I got
originals.
cleaned out, and then I got all my markers.
He does marker work too, like I do.
Yeah.
His markers are a lot more vibrant though, obviously. Yeah, they're technically the size of like trading cards.
Yeah, no, they definitely trading cards.
I mean, these cases are for trading cards.
Yeah.
So,
they're that way I can use the ATC hashtag on Instagram.
which means artist trading card.
Yeah. Wow, I've only got 5 of these left.
How many did you start with?
Like 30. So I sold a shit ton at New York.
Yeah, we went to New York Comic Con and all our originals just.
Yeah.
So I'm selling this one and I'm gonna be selling this one as well. But I'm gonna do marker work on this one probably maybe Thursday. Thursday will probably be a marker stream. So, because I want to tone this out, but I don't know if I want to use colors yet or if I just want grayscale. So we'll figure that out. But this one ended up way better than I had hoped for. Like, I am surprised. You can tell I was creatively constipated because if you don't get to actually experiment for a while and then you get the chance to, you kind of go crazy. So, let's see. It is midnight here. So Gabe streams tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central, which is about 8 hours ago tomorrow, if that makes sense. And then I stream 4 p.m. Central Thursday. So our schedule goes off and on. So Gabe's on Monday at 9 p.m. CST. I'm Tuesday 9 p.m. CST. He's Wednesday 4 p.m. CST. I'm Thursday at 4 p.m. CST. So they're both the same times each day, but like staggered. Anyway, that's good, DHT. Thanks, Enigma. You've been wonderful to have here. I appreciate you being here. So tomorrow Gabe's doing screen tones. And if you need painting advice, he'll do that too.
Oh, yeah.
But screen tones in like manga and anything like that. If you've ever seen a comic that has screen tones, show a screen tone. Pick a manga.
Fucking.
Not a screen, like a manga, Gabe.
Gotcha. Screen tones.
Screen tones.
Screen tones.
So how they're used in comics.
Stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. The gray stuff in comics. In
Typically.
manga.
And it's usually got some sort of effect, like zoom lines and things.
Yeah,
That's technically a screen tone.
Yeah, all this stuff right here. Like
Yeah, so
that.
anytime you see any sort of gradient or like those
right there.
bursts,
Yeah.
that burst is actually a screen tone. So
Yeah.
Gabe's going to be showing how to do those tomorrow on his stream. So, there you go. It should be fun. He's done them a few times, but watching him stumble through it will be fun. As I stumbled through this tonight, but you know what? It came out pretty alright. I'm really proud of this. It's I like doing new things on stream because it's not really added pressure, but it is fun in case I screw up. But I get a kick out of it. Anyway, so give Gabe a follow for tomorrow, and I'll be on Thursday, and hopefully we'll see you guys again. All right, we're gonna go. If you have any questions or anything, hit us up either on our Discord or on Instagram, whatever your preferred social media is. We're there. I guarantee it. Unless it's, what was that one that like was up for a day and then died?
Oh, I don't know.
Vimo or something?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, thanks guys. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully on Gabe's channel.
Yeah.
Bye!